waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
BetUs, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUs, where the game begins.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to have some fun, talk about what's been going on in these Dolphin streets. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to get into everything that I told y'all we were going to talk about yesterday as well, because we want to break it all down, give you my thoughts, my opinions over here at TD Fans Talk. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and dive in. Before we do, make sure you hit the like button, let your friends and family members know about the channel, and subscribe right here to TD Fans Talk. We are less than 200 subscribers away from 29,000 subs. Man. Thank y'all for allowing us to win. Thank y'all for continuing to help us win. Greatly appreciated. Nothing but love to you all. This stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. Now, that 125% bonus is up to $2,500. They have 24/7 payouts, also 24-hour payouts, 24/7 customer service, just in case you need help or want to get your money or your winnings fast. All right. So check out BetUS, and don't forget, tomorrow is the last day, today and tomorrow, to go ahead and sign up with BetUS to get your Super Bowl tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Free Super Bowl tickets. If you bet $25, go on Twitter, formerly known X, formerly known as Twitter, and put your bet slip tagging BetUS TV and making sure that you tag the friend you want to send with you. Okay. All right. Make sure you follow the description in the instructions in the link below. And also, we're going to play it one more time before the stream ends. The instructions. I've never been to a Super Bowl. I've always wanted to wait till my team go, but the way things are going, man, I don't know when that's going to happen. So I just want to go to one. But here's your opportunity to get to the Super Bowl on BetUS. Thank you to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of TD Fins Talk. I never did this like in Snap. Can y'all do that? Like, y'all know how people click. I've never been able to do that. Like, but we stretching it out, we got to get it. All right. Hit that like button. Let's get our 100 likes. Y'all already know we got to get our 100 likes before we even start diving in. Y'all know the rules. Y'all know how it goes. Let's get it going. All right. Let me hit that refresh. Let me make sure we got them likes up. Oh man, we already got some big time love in the super chats, man. Who is this? Who is this showing this huge love, man? Shout out to Sean 8771 said, TD, thank you for being an unbiased Dolphins content creator, one of the top Dolphins channels on YouTube. TD, thank you for making great content and providing great football knowledge to us. I appreciate that, man. In today's world, a lot of people are challenging what you just said. They feel like I'm actually one of the most biased people providing content. Thank you for the compliment of this being one of the top Dolphin channels on YouTube. That is only crediting every single body who watches this channel every chance they get. And I try my best to make great content. And the part about proving great football knowledge, providing great football knowledge to us, I try my very best. It don't mean that I'm always going to be right. I ain't claiming to always be right, but that's why I give you my opinion, my thoughts on the matter, and allow time to tell on this channel, okay? We allow time to tell on this channel, all right? So with that being said, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the love and support. Let's go ahead and dive into tonight's show. So first thing first on the docket, y'all already know we got to talk about the Omar Kelly situation, all right? Let's go ahead and get it out the way up front. Let's just call it what it is, okay? He's been saying a lot of things lately that just aren't true, but everybody's entitled, their opinion. But at the same token, he has been open to the possibility of doing a collaboration. Poupar is down. He said that he was down to do it. I reached back out and said, let's do it, time and date. Unfortunately, he replied on Twitter saying that he's been warned about me and he's a man of the people and he's going to allow the people to decide. So he put a poll on Twitter of should he do a collaboration. I'm gonna be honest with you, whatever the poll result is, if it's no, it is what it is. If it's yes, I will do the show with him. But I was saddened by that because I was disappointed in him per se. It kind of showed me that he's the type of individual that allows others to speak for him or others to make decisions for him. Not only that, when he said he's been warned about me, That was a big red flag concern as well, because that sounds like an individual that allows someone else's perception of me or judgment of me to become his without getting to know the man himself and having a conversation with the man himself. So, man, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect that from him because he's usually a sharp guy. He's usually on point. And I think he has those sentiments, but with everything been going on lately, I think he kind of that one just slipped away from him. And he's been out here basically coming across as if a lot of people been in his ear. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't work with that guy. And that's sad. That's sad. You know, I was born and raised. You don't take what other people say about other people. You get to know them yourself, because at the end of the day, they could be a hater of him. And don't allow someone else to make you a hater of somebody you don't even know. That's the worst. When you don't associate with somebody that you don't even know based off of what somebody else told you. That's the worst. But if the poll ends up being favorable, I don't even know what it is. I haven't even checked. It's probably like 30% of the people want it because he's polling his people. And which is crazy. You're polling the people that don't like me anyway. So we'll see. Let me see on Twitter. Let me see. Hey, where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, 53% of people want it and 47% don't, and 101 comments. I read some comments earlier, boy. We got 2,500 votes. Man, I'm leading in the primaries, y'all. I got 53%. But to have 47.4% of the people say no, boy, there's a lot of people I be putting that pressure on, don't I? It's a lot of people don't like me. But the sad thing is, when I read some of the comments like a few hours ago, some of them have no idea who I am. They're just saying, I heard this guy is this, or I heard this guy is that. That's the sad part about society and Twitter. A lot of people go off of what other people say, especially if they don't like them. And that's the sad part. But we'll see. We'll see how it all ends up. If I'm invited on, it will go do the show, and I'll speak my piece and defend my position. And if it doesn't happen, then they didn't want the smoke. It's that simple. I mean, it's not like I need to be over there or go over there. I didn't know if you wanted me to come on their channel or come on ours. And he went on Twitter and said, should we have him on the show? Oh, so I'm assuming y'all's. It's not that big of a deal. All right. He thinks it's a trap. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you think that, because he's listening to what other people has to say. I legitimately just want to have a straight up conversation, voice my opinion and my views. And if I disagree with the things he's saying, give him the reason why. And if he disagrees with the things I'm saying, I would like to hear why. Because the one thing I can tell you, I follow all these beat writers, and the one thing I know about Omar Kelly in general is the fact that he doesn't shy away from telling you you're wrong, but he won't tell you why you're wrong. He won't give the detail. This is a flat out lie. To tell us the truth. Well, this is the truth. Is that all? Just that one reason? Well, multiple reasons. Give us the other reasons. And then it stops right there. So I love their show, by the way. Let me get that straight, because y'all know how I am. I promote all channels, even my haters' channels. I also tell all y'all, go watch the people who agree with me and the people who disagree with me. Get as much content and information as you can. Don't just listen to one person. Don't let one person build this narrative in your head, but listen to everybody, get all the information, and then you end up saying to yourself, what makes the most sense and what conclusions do you derive to? What conclusions do you come up with? And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. All right. So, I hope we do have a great conversation, though. I love this show. I love the yin and yang. I love the oil and vinegar. I love the salt and pepper. I love what they got going on. You know, Pupar, He's pretty much on it. He be on his neck about Tua all the time. And he right. And most of the time, Omar don't even rebuttal. He just be like, oh, here you go with that. You don't want to, I don't think you really want to have a detailed conversation. And Poupar let it move on. But if we have a conversation, we ain't moving on. No, we stand right here until we get answers. We ain't going, oh, we don't have to. No, let's do it. You know, that's what it's about. Getting into the details, not just going fly by, you know, generalizations. None of that stuff. And I think it would be a great conversation that people would really love to see. I don't want to have a conversation to be fighting back and forth with this man. I want to have a conversation to give my position and hear the opposition. Because what's in the balance of all of this? The narrative of our future as a franchise. That's what's in the balance of it all. And that's important to me. Now, as far as his thought process on my credibility with sources and all this and that, I heard him on the radio this morning. He went on the radio and his own podcast to mention me. In regards to the credibility piece, this is the sad part about it. He say he has 25 years in the business and he has sources and they're hard to come by. And these people saying they have sources, you know, it's a bunch of crap and all this and that, all that stuff. People don't know nothing about nobody. That's what's crazy to me. How does he know I don't have a relative in the organization? How does he know that? How does he know that I'm not associated with someone directly involved with the day-to-day football operations? Because we actually do have a relationship and are close, directly or indirectly. How does he know that? And let me clear something up on this channel. The people that I do discuss the Miami Dolphins with within the organization, they have a right to have an opinion about the team as well. I would never compromise them as someone around here talking about what's going on in the team, but they have a right to have an opinion about what's going on with the team because many of them are fans as well. I could be directly linked with somebody with the medical staff. They don't talk to me about an injury per se because that's a violation of HIPAA laws, but they can give their opinion about what's going on with the state of the team based off of what they know. So I don't have sources. I have people that I conversate about football with. I don't call anybody a source like that. I don't whatsoever. So at the end of the day, this notion of journalistic integrity and all of that stuff, here's the funny part of that. Omar on his own show today literally said out of his own mouth, in the name of integrity, literally out of his own mouth had the nerve to say on his show today, there's times where a player is telling me something in the locker room and I know they're lying, so I don't write about it. And you want to talk about integrity? A player is telling you something and you are assuming or believe they are lying, so you don't write about it. That's not journalism. Everybody's word from that locker room is supposed to be reported. Who decides what's a lie and what's not? Who told you it was a lie? Or did somebody, one of your buddies, tell you one thing, they told you something else, and you're going with what your buddy said? That's not journalism. That is not journalism. That's not journalistic integrity. You're supposed to report everything being said instead of taking sides on what you believe or what you don't believe. That's making it actually about you. That's not journalism, journalistic integrity. These are your words. Gameboy 305 says, so you don't troll, TD? Come on. I absolutely troll, but I tell you I troll. What's the problem with that? Can we please establish right here, right now, that I am not a journalist? I don't answer to anybody. I don't have to uphold their rules. He literally also said out of his mouth that there's times he released some information that he knew about the Dolphins and they got mad at him and he had to deal with it. So he don't do that stuff anymore. Who's bought and paid for? I mean, you're basically just exposing yourself. Actually, we actually have him on record now on his very own show saying this, exposing himself. So at the end of the day, I want to talk football and only football. Don't come to me about no journalistic integrity and all the rules that you're required to abide by because you have to follow the rules because you answer to somebody. I don't. And there lies, in my opinion, the jealousy. So I'm willing to have a football conversation, X's and O's, about Tua Tagovailoa, how Xavier Howard is falling off, how, Chubb ain't as good as people making him out to be. All that good stuff, all that controversial stuff. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about. And it's so funny. Last thing, and I'll digress. You know how all my subscribers know that I had desires to build a sports network. And what I did, TD Fins Talk has been around going on 6 years now. And about 3 years ago, y'all know I created like 10 different channels of 10 different teams that had 10 young quarterbacks or franchise quarterbacks. TD Browns Talk, TD Chargers Talk, TD Bengals Talk. Y'all remember all of that because I had aspirations of building a sports network. And this shows you all you need to know of how sad it is right now with Omar Kelly coming at me because he calls himself going on a picture of me and all the channels and asking the viewers, is this your king? Is this your king? So I hit him back with all the logos of Roundtable Sports. And I let him know 3 years ago, we tried to build TD Sports Network. It didn't do well. As far as I didn't have the manpower, but what I did is went back in the workshop, rebranded. We have Roundtable Sports, got sponsors, got partners, as you know, me, Richie, Dan, and Master at Work partners, and we're thriving. We're thriving. A legitimate company, an actual corporation, licensed through the state. Multiple state licenses due to merch sales, a lawyer, accountant, 17 people that are contracted throughout the company. And it's going to continue to grow. That's king stuff. So is this your king? I'm out here doing king things. I didn't bring up anything about your failed experience on Brandon Marshall's podcast. But I regress. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get into it? Let's go ahead and get into it. Fins up no matter what. Y'all hit that like button. Fins up the comment section. 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 Thank y'all. I see the love and support all through the comment section. I see the love and support. Fins up the comment section. There you go. I appreciate y'all. We about to get started. Now we got 500 people in here. Let me check the likes. Let's get it going. All right, we good to go. All right, let's dive in. All right. Let's see here. All right, man, let's go. Well, first and foremost, we had a lot of things that needs to be discussed out here in the Dolphin world. We got to get into all of this, man. Y'all hit that like button. Thank you for those who sent in super chats. And I seen the Cash App. I appreciate that too. But let's dive in. Let's get into this content, what really matters, not drama. All right. First and foremost, I want to talk about this narrative out here that Tua actually needs more weapons. Have y'all been hearing this narrative out here? Have y'all been hearing this narrative? That Tua needs more weapons, get him a full O-line and get him a tight end and another receiver that's a number 2 instead of Claypool. We want Waddle, Tyreek, a number 2. Like they want to say Tyreek and Waddle are 2-1s and they want a number 2, and we need to get an elite tight end and then fix the O-line. And we'll be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the first to tell you, every team in the NFL needs that. In what world is that realistic? In what world is any of it realistic? I explained this to you all yesterday. Stop talking about we need a better O-line. We need to revamp the O-line. Revamping the O-line is like bringing 3 more players in. Your O-line is not going to get any better than it is right now. Why do I say that? You just signed Austin Jackson on the deal. That position can't get better. It is what it is. What are the odds of finding a guard better than Robert Hunt? And if you do find one better than him, you're going to spend more money, and he ain't the issue. So why would you replace him? And instead, you're going to let him walk in free agent potentially. Hopefully a deal gets done, but we're running the risk of letting him walk because there's no 5th-year option on him. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's an unrestricted free agent. So with that said, how you going to get better there? In the draft? What are the chances of drafting a right guard? Because you're not going to do that at 21, are you? With the 21st pick? I doubt it. And if you're doing it with the 21st pick, that's still first-round money. And then let's go to the center position. It's not possible to upgrade the center position because Connor Williams was considered the best one in the league just about. So how can you upgrade over the best one in the league? Draft a rookie and hope he's better? Day one, just to draft the rookie center and he's the best center in the league. So you're not going to be getting better than Connor. That's 3 positions that are slim to none to upgrade. Now, you can upgrade the left tackle. We all know this. We all know you can upgrade the left tackle position. That was one of our biggest holes, but it held enough for the season. And then let's go to left guard, by the way, not left tackle. But let's go to left tackle. You got Teron Armstead still under contract on the books. Hoping he don't retire or he screw up with dead cap. But when he's healthy, you think you're just going to snap your fingers and find a better left tackle for less? Now, if you want to spend more, that's a different story. But at the same token, you still got to deal with him and his contract. He's still under contract. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't get caught into talking about upgrading the offensive line unless you're talking about the left guard. It is a irrelevant subject. And if you move on from Connor, Hunt, or Armstead, it will more than likely be a downgrade. So don't think you fix the O-line when you go get a few free agents if you let them walk and you go get some nice names, because 9 times out of 10, they're not better than what you actually had. For the right price, you ain't going to find Robert Hunt. For the right price, you ain't going to find Connor Williams. For the right price, you ain't finding Teron Armstead. Now, I'm all for the left tackle position being replaced for the simple fact that, hey, we can't keep on relying on Teron Armstead if he can't stay healthy. Last year, he produced like 60% of the snaps or something like that, give or take. This year, it was 50-something. Like, that's not good. Paying $16, $17 million, whatever it is for him, it's not good at all. We're in a tough situation. But this notion of, well, go get a good tight end in. Okay, TD, we can't fix the O-line like that. Okay, then go get. I mean, again, you can go get you a left guard. That's better if you want. But outside of that, you ain't no fixing. But okay, TD, go then at least go get an elite tight end. Why are we going to get an elite tight end when it ain't used like that in Mike McDaniel's system, where the guys that you got now are good enough because all they doing is slipping out of the backfield in the flat and running the seam on occasions. That's it. 2 to 3 times a game, catch 2 of these balls out in the flat and run that seam and let me hit you. That's it. You have Mike Gesicki in this system. What did that produce? So stop saying we need a great tight end. We had one. So please stop that. And for the record, because I saw somebody in the chat saying that these takes that I'm addressing, I'm talking about another creator. I'm actually not. This is the stuff I'm hearing all on Twitter and the fan base. I gauge the fan base. I don't be listening to other creators like that to be trying to prove them wrong. Only creators I listen to are the ones that have my name in their mouth. And I'm trying to figure out why. That's it. I don't listen. So don't think I'm going over anything to rebut anybody else. But if they are spewing those narratives, here's my take. So this notion that Tua needs more weapons, get him a legit tight end, stop. Fix the O-line, upgrade it. You need at least 2 to 3 more good O-linemen. Now, if we want to talk about depth, that could help, but we ain't got no money, y'all. Y'all, I don't know. Like, I've been telling y'all for 3 years now that this day was coming. And everybody who watches this channel, I have. People out here running crazy, telling you the cap ain't real. It's all good. Don't worry about that. You'll see. You can manipulate it anyway. Yeah, you can, but you're digging yourself in a deeper and deeper hole. Just running that credit card up. I've been telling y'all this for years. And now the same people that say it wasn't real out here telling you, hey, man, we in trouble, man. We in trouble. The debt collector's calling. Yeah, them debt collectors calling. You want to know who the debt collectors are? Christian Wilkins. You heard Javon Holland interview today. Yeah, I know it's my year to get paid. I'm letting my agent handle that. But yeah, I love Miami. I want to be here forever. But if it don't work out that way, then yeah, Javon Holland's agent is negotiating his contract now because it's time for him to get paid. Robert Hunt calling. Hey, you sure you want me to walk out of free agency? It's about to come in a month and a half. Connor Williams, are you sure? Yeah, they calling on him. They calling. Oh, the Greer is in his office like, oh my gosh. Now, if Stephen Ross want to show up to the facility, have his meeting with Chris Greer, Garfinkel, whoever all up there, if he want to have his meeting with them, they know what they gonna need to do. And I actually heard Omar even say this. Chris Greer, Stephen Ross going to have to be able to give $100 million cash as bonuses, according to his cap guru. Now, I understand the cap. And I see Stephen Ross needing to write about $130 million worth of bonuses. But minutia, 100. And what that is cash. That's the guaranteed money that even if the player go trash and start sucking, they getting their money regardless. Like him writing these kind of checks basically lock the team in on these players, even if it ain't working. And we're at a vital stage of this franchise where If it was next year, we would be in a whole better position to say yay or nay. But right now, every move Chris Grier makes is a gamble. Let me tell you why. If you sign Tua on a long-term deal and he ain't the answer, you just gambled and lost. But that screws the whole team. Because now you're on a contract on that big old price, and you can't afford another quarterback. Not unless you find a Purdy that's cheap as dirt, and you can consume this big contract and just be like, hey, you just sit over there. We got our new guy. But come on, it's Miami. What's the chances? So you'd be gambling if you give Tua the money. If you give Connor, Robert Hunt, the money, you're gambling because if Tua don't work out, now you got to replace him, and now you got a good roster with a quarterback that probably another bridge. Every move Chris Grier needs to evaluate and pull the trigger or don't pull the trigger on this offseason is a gamble. And they all tie into each other with, to me, the common denominator being Tua Tagovailoa and whether or not he can actually elevate his play to even another level. And that is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Can he elevate his play to another level? I'm not even going to say what I feel about that tonight. It's just a matter of, what do you think? Can he? Can he? If he can, then I think this team is in good hands. Or has he already exceeded his ceiling? Not reach his ceiling, exceeded it. Because I'd argue with people that he regressed more this year than last year. I mean, he actually regressed from last year, not more than last year. He didn't. I mean, it was an uptick last year. But even though the injuries, when you take the injuries away and just the games he played, I actually like last year more than this year. I like what he did last year more than this year, and that still left a lot of questions for me. And that's just an opinion. Don't make me right, but that's an opinion that I have. And how can you do that? Take that gamble on a player who regressed. Now, his statistics were higher because he played more games. But if I'm not mistaken, he might have been on pace for better numbers last year, potentially, if he was healthy. But no, just coffee. Thank you, baby. What's these? Oh, I appreciate you. My wifey brought me 2 little chocolate chip cookies. Little itty bitties. Yeah, but that's how I feel on that. Shout out to the homie C007. Love you, brother. He said the Dolphins are in trouble. McDaniel has regressed to his growth. He took Tua's willingness to compete away. Oh, man. That's a loaded conversation. I got to do a stream on that. That's a loaded conversation. Because I agree and disagree, but not in a you're wrong way. I actually agree with that, but I got a little twist to that. But it'll be too much right now because I got a whole agenda. But I'm happy you brought that up because I'll probably do a show on that. The elements of it. But I want to caution everybody with blaming Mike McDaniel about a lot of what's going on. I want to caution you about what's going on and blaming Mike McDaniel. That's all I'm saying. We'll get into that in another stream because that's a great conversation. Because I also have a little defense for Mike McDaniel in this regard. And it's all theoretical. Time will tell, but it's what I believe. Thank you. Coffee? Cappuccino? Love it. Amor. You know what amor means? What? Okay, I love you too. Best wife in the world. Don't be getting jealous. Don't be hating on you, boy. All right. right, let's move on. But yeah, that's part of the problem. Somebody said, remember, TD, you're not allowed to have different opinion. Yeah, because I'll be 1,000% wrong, but that's neither here nor there. Huh? Oh, about the screen share. All right, baby. Bust out the cheesecake. No. Probably done had too much cheesecake, boy. Then, I gotta get my life together. You know? Huh? Yeah, we good, baby. We had in the right direction. We'll get to the chat. I'm gonna get to the chat. I want to try to get through my list that everybody wanted me to address, the things they wanted me to address. Okay, but yeah, as far as all of that, needing more weapons, I'll digress on that point for now. Listen, man, we got to fight to figure out a way to get the team just as good as it was last year. And the reality of it is, it's not likely to happen. It's highly unlikely to happen. Okay, so that's something that we have to fight to do. All right, so let's move on to the next topic of the night. Okay, y'all asked me to talk about this. I ain't gonna go too much into detail about it, but I am gonna give my take on it. Tyreek getting exposed. I don't even know why this is a big deal. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that he doesn't have any criminal charges pending, or anybody's accusing him of a criminal act. That's all that really matters to me. Those are the things I like to talk about and report because it's real news. But his personal life with his wife, it is what it is. We already knew he filed for divorce. His lawyer did. His lawyer refused to comment on the matter. Tyreek came out and said it's all a lie and didn't know that it was public record pretty much. But let's just be honest, y'all. Let's not sit here and blow this out of proportion. Tyreek Hill been lying since the day he came to Miami when he said Tua was an elite quarterback and he was better than Mahomes. I mean, let's not do this. This ain't newsworthy, really. Okay? He got caught in another lie. It is what it is. I just hope and pray that they figure that out because it's important to have families together, especially for the kids, you know. But I understand in life sometimes you live and you learn. You know, all of them ain't gonna work, but you do your best to do for family. All right. But I love him. I just wish him and his personal life the best. It's that simple. Let's get off of that hill. I don't want to get too deep into it. And let me say this too. I hate it for the simple fact that I don't think he knew it was public record. Like, he didn't know it was public record. And I think that's why he lied and thought he can get away with it. The only bad part about it is by him lying, it made people go look it up. And it brought to light, even though we already knew, but we didn't talk about it, it brought to light the paternity suits. Now everybody posted screenshots of the filing for divorce, and on top of that, the 2 paternity suits at the same time with the kids on the way and all of that. So that's what it brought to light. That's why I wish he just would have never just lied about it. But it is what it is. I'm hoping what I'm seeing on social media is correct and that they're good and they're figuring it out because that's what it's about. Because I know that there are kids involved at the end of the day. All right. Let's keep going to the next subject, Teron Armstead. I know we kind of briefly talked about it, but what do we do? What do we do? What do we do about Teron Armstead? AB, don't come in here starting, bro. Don't come in here starting, man. Talk about why we talking about people's personal life. Did you go say that about every single beat writer that wrote an article about it? Did you go address every single person that put a tweet about it? I doubt it. All right. Everybody has because it's news. And y'all asked me to talk about it when I made the list of things y'all want to talk about. But I was hoping I was doing the least amount that I could. I'll just say that. All right, but Teron Armstead, what in the heck we supposed to do? No. You can't tell him to retire. I hope I'm not wrong on this, but what I saw is if he retires, it's even worse for our dead cap. We still got to eat that. Best case scenario is if we cut him, he get picked up by another team, and they offer a salary more than $5 million. Then we're not on the hook. If I'm not mistaken, I got to go revisit his situation, but something has to be done. Something has to be done. I want to ask y'all a question. Was that a successful hire? Signing? When you look at that signing now, was it a win for Greer or a loss for Greer? Y'all remember what I was telling y'all when we signed him? You don't get no better left tackle unless it's Trent Williams. The only problem is you're only going to get him on an average of 11 and a half games a year. And I said, he's only playing 11 and a half games. Do you think that was worth it? Y'all said, yeah. I'm calling y'all out. Maybe not all y'all, but let's just keep it a buck. Even this platform right here, a lot of y'all say, yeah, it was worth it. And I told y'all, I don't think it's worth it. But, that boy, y'all call me real hater then. Y'all call me a real hater. You just don't want to see Tua succeed. Y'all call me a real hater. Great player. I want that player. But I can't take 10 and a half games, 11 and a half games. I told you 11 and a half. And last year, I think he did 12 or 11. I was fine. And this time it was less. We knew this. We knew this already. But here's what I'm trying to figure out, though. We knew this when I asked us when we first did it, and we all still cheered it. And y'all told me be more optimistic. I can be optimistic. I do hope he plays 15 plus games. But go look at his whole career. He averages 11 and a half a year. Average. In the last 3 years before us, he averaged like probably lower, if I'm not mistaken. Now that he only gave you what we said, AB said you can be optimistic. I am optimistic, but I also got to tell you what data tells us. I was hopeful. I hope he give us 15 games. That's optimism. No, optimism is saying he going to give us 15 games. I believe it. Nah, I'll be lying to myself because I didn't believe it. So I guess I couldn't be optimistic. I was hopeful. I was not optimistic. I put my optimism behind real chances. I put my optimism behind real chances. Everything else I'm hopeful for. I was hopeful. But I'm glad I wasn't optimistic because I would have just been wrong. Optimism means I'm saying something's going to happen, trying to will it into existence. Y'all would have been calling me out. Man, don't worry. Armstead going to play 15 games. Oh, TD, you told us he was going to play 15 games. You was wrong. That's why I'm really wrong. I ain't saying I'm always right, but I'm very particular with my words. Very particular with my words. And this is why. But I do know the Dolphins need to do something, but unfortunately, y'all look at me, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think we got Teron Armstead for at least another year. And it is what it is. I mean, this is what we signed up for. I'm going to be shocked if some moves like this happen, and I'll be happy. But, yeah, man. Which is AB said, TD, the beat writer's talking about you. You act like you don't like it. You love it. More marketing for you. You can't fool me, player. I ain't trying to fool you. I love it. I love it more than anything. But it don't mean I ain't gonna call him back out. I ain't gonna address it. But I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. And the main reason I love every bit of it is because now all my haters coming out the woodwork. Oh my gosh, Omar, don't give him no time. Boy, they begging and pleading, please don't collab with him. No, you're gonna fuel the fire. I don't care if we do it or not. But all y'all, I'm in all y'all mentions, rent free. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. But anyway, let's move on. Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins. First of all, I want to ask y'all, what do y'all want to do about Christian Wilkins? This man is going to cost. And let me tell you the admission that he going to cost. When Chris Greer said Wilkins bet on himself and he won, I said, "Ooh, that sound like 24 plus million." Because I know Chris Greer, from what I understand, let me not say my source, from what I understand, was offered about 20 million per year and was turned down. So for Greer to say he bet on himself and won, up 24 plus, or 22 with a whole lot more guarantees and signing bonus. What do you do? What do you do? Everybody talk about franchise tag him. That's 19 million. You got him under contract for 1 year. He ain't playing on that tag. He ain't playing on that tag. It ain't happening. Let me pull this back up. Make sure I ain't tripping here. Yeah. He ain't playing on that tag. You already got him on the 5th-year option. He ain't paying on that tag. You ain't finna have. You think his agent gonna let him play on the tag and he get one major injury, then he ain't worth nothing? I mean, he worth something, but he ain't worth. He's 60 cent, 70 cent on the dollar. Then you think Christian Wilkins got all people gonna play on the tag? Greer, you either sign him on his long-term deal, or this is what you do. You tag him and then open up the trade block. Because I don't know why we out here sitting here letting these guys get to their free agency anyway without getting compensation. Like for real? Like what? For real? Why are we letting these guys get to free agency if you debating on whether or not you want to pay them? If that's the case, trade them. If you don't know after they 4th season, come on, man. Come on. It makes no sense. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you a few guys, right? There's a few guys that I have been telling y'all they need their money. And I've been telling y'all they're going to need it eventually. But they just creeped on us and like, hey, what up? Give me my bag. Y'all know who them 3 guys are? There's 3 people that we're not even talking about right now that want their money now. All 3 of them big players. All big players. This the new era, and we back up in the mix. Ain't no more relying on Fitz. It's time for Tua to get his. It's time for Tua to get us lit. That's why we got Waddle at 6. And Jalen Phillips is a brick at 36. We got Javon Hollins, Madden hit stick. Eichenberg protecting hips. For those who like, what is he? What's going on? That's a part of a song. Throw them fins up, me and Solo D. But look at the 4 names I just mentioned. We're going to disqualify Tua because we already know his situation. We already know Tua's situation. This the new era, and we back up in the mix. Ain't no more relying on Fitz. It's time for Tua to get us lit. That's why we got Waddle at 6. And Jalen Phillips is a brick. At 36, we got Javon Hollins, Madden hit stick. Eichenberg protecting hips. You could throw Eichenberg in there, but he ain't good enough. They would let that play out. But Waddle's agent in the office right now. After year 3, they talking. And Miami's probably telling them, no, we'll talk next year. We're probably going to pick up the 5th-year option. But they start conversations now. They start conversations now. And another thing, a lot of the new receivers, after year 3, they like, screw that 5th-year stuff. I want my new contract. I done balled out. Jalen Phillips, sad, but lucky for us, he got injured. So they'll be able to get away with that to move it forward. But Javon Holland at 36, we got Javon Hollins, man, hit stick. That's number 36. That ain't a first-round pick. Ain't no 5th-year option. Javon Holland got to get paid now. You heard the interview. Yeah, it's my time to get paid. I'm letting my agent worry about that. We out here talking about Christian Wilkins and all that. You better be worried about Waddle and Holland. You need to be worried about Waddle and Holland. They in that office too. Somebody said Holland ain't worth it. Trade him. Trade who? Trade who? It's time for Holland to get paid. Now, y'all got to understand that they pay Holland right now. It ain't going to hurt us this year, and it ain't going to hurt us next year against the cap. It's the year after that. You're literally 3 years from now, but that's where all the new contracts start to hurt, and Chris Greer got to figure that out. Trade Holland? I mean, what you want in the secondary? What do you want in the secondary? Deshaun Elliott ain't going to be here that much longer. What we talking about now? Y'all see all these issues that we dealing with in the roster right now? And what I heard, you know, not a source, just people I talk football with, is that Chris Greer having a hard time with the contracts. I was told that they already asked Xavier Howard to take a pay cut. He said no. Speculation. What was discussed? Speculation. So they might have to cut the man and deal with the dead cap and all that. Because they needed guys to restructure and take pay cuts and stuff to try to make this work to keep it moving. And good old Robert Hunt, man. It's crazy that last week when I was at Disney World, I saw Robert Hunt and his people. I saw him at Disney, man. I literally, let me tell y'all something. Robert Hunt is bigger than y'all think. Man, when I saw Robert Hunt, I kind of looked like I was looking up. And I'm 6'1.5", 6'2" almost. I felt like I was looking up at this just, and I was like, dang, this man looks so familiar. And I said it in my head. He looked at me like, I know you. And I looked at him, and then we just kept it moving. And I turned around about 10 feet later, and he looked at me, and I was like, that's Robert Hunt. And my wife was like, are you sure? And I was like, I'm telling you, I think so. But it don't matter. Let's keep it moving anyway. I don't bother people and geek out with their personal when they in outside all that anyway. So, man, I saw this, man, and sure enough, my wife, as soon as we got in the car, she went to social media and she was like, that was him. With the same people that's in the social media. I was like, I knew it. And he posted, he was at Disney. He actually posted it on his social media. He was at Disney. So that's what's up, man. I should have said something, huh? No. Be like, hey man, you think too ahead. Anyway, I see y'all comments in the comment section. Y'all stop. But yeah, man, Robert Hunt, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how there's certain guys that come in, they're a good person, they're a role model, they don't get in no trouble. They come in and they do their job and they do it well all 4 years. They don't complain, they bust their behind, they're solid. Nobody's complaining or crying about their play. How you reward Jerome Baker and ain't got Robert Hunt locked up? I'm just saying, am I tripping here? You were willing to lock down Jerome Baker and you got Robert Hunt down out here becoming a UFA? I don't like that. That's the guy you're supposed to reward. As a guard, you know he ain't making crazy money. For real though, am I tripping on that? Am I tripping on that? I feel like Robert Hunt should be a Dolphin. And you lock down Austin Jackson before Robert Hunt? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't like that. I don't like that. Doesn't make sense at all. I hope they get something done. I hope they get something done. All right, let me pull this up. All right. Okay. I'll see what that is. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. All right. We got to talk about Chris Greer exposed. We all around here, we talk about Tua ain't the guy or he is the guy, whatever. At what point do we start to realize that all of this derives from Chris Greer? If I'm not mistaken, if y'all don't know the history of Chris Greer, he was in the Patriots organization. The moment Chris Greer left the Patriots organization to the Dolphins organization, the Patriots started their dynasty. Soon as that man came in our building, not in the role he's in now, but as soon as that man came in our building, we started our just purgatory. Chris Greer has missed on too much to be ignored. And at what point are we going to start to recognize that our general manager handled our books and everything terribly wrong out of the hope of proving that we got our franchise quarterback? The countless draft pick failures that we don't talk about much. All the bad decisions that were made with he's the man who has the final say. No matter whether you liked or hated Flores, you like or hate McDaniel, Greer got the last say on this roster. Too many failed draft picks and too many times where you signed a big name free agent to hide your failures. If Chris Greer was a great GM, we would have never needed to sign Jalen Ramsey. Why? Because Noah Igbenogany would have replaced Xavier Howard to be with Byron Jones. And then Byron Jones kept getting hurt. And by the way, which was a Greer signing that didn't work out. And Noah had never got to the point to where he could even replace Byron Jones since we were stuck with Xavier Howard. And then on top of that, since we were stuck with Xavier Howard and we couldn't get off the contract, we were forced to extend Xavier Howard, which was an even worse move because the man ain't had a great season in 3 years. Tell me I'm wrong. The man ain't balled out in 3 years now. Am I wrong? Or is it 2? Either way. You gave him even more money to be a shell of himself. Consistent growing injuries, getting toasted on the field. Call it what it is. That whole situation is a Chris Greer failure. That's the cornerback position, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the safeties. Javon Holland, great job. Great find. Great find. Whoa! Great find. You got you one, Greer. Brandon Jones ain't it. Depth at best. Deshaun Elliott ain't it. Depth at best. And Fangio told you he's still looking for his safety opposite Javon Holland. Chris Greer failed at the safety position. Failed at the safety position. Let's keep it moving. Linebackers. Linebackers. I ain't got to go into detail. Y'all know we got one of the worst interior linebacking cores in the NFL that put no fear in nobody. Thank you, David Long, for being a run stopper, but you ain't good in the pass game. And then you gave Jerome Baker the money you gave him because he gets a lot of tackles. Tackles that's not behind the line of scrimmage, by the way, might I add. David Long Jr., like I told y'all, he's a dog. I love the addition of him, but you did not get a dynamic player. You got a linebacker that stops the run, not a guy who plays well in the secondary, and that was Fangio's frustration, and he told us. Fangio said it in an interview. The thing is, he can't just be great in the run. You need to be great in all. Let's stick with the linebackers. Anybody ever heard of the name Channing Tindall? Who? Yeah, I ever heard of a guy named Channing Tindall? Once upon a time, there was a drafted player into the NFL by the name of Channing Tindall. In his rookie season, he disappeared. No one knew where he was. Had the coaches hit him? Time will tell. Chapter 2. Then one day, a new innovative coach by the name of Fangio comes in, and he still couldn't find Tindall. Where had this young stud gone? You tell me. Chris Grier. So don't make this Fangio thing about, oh, he wouldn't put Tyndall and Cam Smith on the field. Then why your last defensive coordinator wouldn't put Tyndall on the field? Is it just Fangio now, or is it the last DC too? Why did we allow the last DC? Don't give me the narrative that they were in contention because, McDaniel wanted Tyndall on the field and Fangio didn't, which some people saying. Don't give me that, because you ain't had no control over Fangio, but you can't tell me you didn't have control over the coach last year. Why didn't you make them put Tyndall on the field? Because he wasn't ready. Fangio came in and felt he wasn't ready either. So why all of a sudden is Fangio the one blackballing players when last year the man didn't get on the field either? Make it make sense. That's all I ask. Make it make sense. But Chris Grier. Chris Grier. Chris Grier has consistently failed at the linebacking core. Duke Riley. Oh, Duke Riley had a good game. As soon as we went up against a good team. Oh, Duke Riley got smoked all game. All game. Y'all remember about 6-7 weeks ago or something like that? I forgot. 4 or 5 weeks ago. Duke Riley had 10 tackles. Look who we played. Stop it. Then the very next week, I forgot which one of the good quarterbacks was just ripping Duke Riley. And Jerome Baker got hurt in that game. What game was it that he got smoked all day? Boy, y'all be sure that Duke Riley. What happened to what's his name? What's the preseason MVP? What's his name again? I think it's with an E. I don't know why I'm forgetting. What's the linebacker name? He a preseason MVP every year. Who y'all wanted on the team? Man, it's just constant failures. Constant failures, man. Chris Grier. Eguavon, yeah. Iguavin. Yeah. Chris Grier, man. And everybody, we got a good linebacking core. Chubb, Phillips. Oh, because we adding the ends. Oh, yeah, they're hybrid linebackers. I get it. Yeah. Stop. Chris Grier. Now, let's go to the D-line. Raekwon Davis was supposed to make life easy to move on from Christian Wilkins. Ain't Raekwon Davis becoming a free agent too? It'll be very interesting to see if he's going to stick around. You see, every GM gets their great players and they draft and try to develop certain players that'll make life easier where they can make a choice whether they need to move on from the high-paid one and we got another dog that it's time to push up. That's what they wanted Raekwon Davis to be. Is that working out that way? Is it working out that way? Chris Grier. And then Christian Wilkins. He is working out that way. You're letting this man hit free agency. Chris Grier. You lock down Zeeler. Soon as you did, his numbers start going down. I'm just saying. But he's still solid. But, Andrew Van Ginkel. Free agent. Chris Grier. Nickel corner. Do we have one? Anybody heard from Nick Needham? Because I was a big fan, but I don't know where he at. Oh, no. Cater Kohu. Smoked. Was getting straight smoked. All that preseason talk y'all was talking. Oh, Ramsey ain't going to be ready, but Cole can hold it down. Smoked. Told y'all that too. Chris Greer. And I ain't even mentioned Cam Smith, who was also in the cornerback room that was supposed to be the replacement for Xavier Howard to go with Ramsey. Now they just going to be forced to play him. I mean, I want to see Cam Smith so bad because the way they didn't let that man get on the field, I wonder if Noah Igbenogany played better. We don't know. We have no clue because we ain't seen the man in a real like play enough. We ain't seen him play enough. But the way they ain't playing him, next year, don't let us find out we got Noah again. Oh my gosh. Y'all gonna be talking about how y'all want to go to the playoffs and the offense need to be better, and then y'all gonna have y'all scapegoat blaming the defense again. When the offense probably still ain't it. That's all that's going to happen next year. When this offense averaging maybe 22 points a game, and y'all going to blame the defense anyway because they're going to be bad. There's a great chance of that, and I hope not, but there's a great chance of that being the case. It ain't our fault, the defense. No, it is your fault. Because you should have had a playmaker at the quarterback position when we've been said so that could lift this team, and we would have already been doing something this year. Somebody said not Tua's fault. I know it's Chris Greer's fault. It's Chris Greer's fault. Tua is who he is. You can't blame him for being him. It's Greer's fault. But look at the whole situation that I just outlined on the D-line. I mean, the defense, which means I didn't bring up the D-line. So the D-line, Jalen Phillips, great pick, Chris Greer, first-round pick. That's all Chris Greer can do is a first-round pick or early second, and then it's tough sledding. It's a lot of misses. But at the same token, first-round pick, good job, Chris Greer, with Jalen Phillips. He's hurt now. We'll see how that works out long-term. Chubb, I never liked that trade. I never liked that trade. I don't view him as the player that many people do. Is he a great player? Yes, he is. But I don't view him as the type of guy we actually needed. The sad thing is all of that went along with the Fangio, getting Fangio and all of that, knowing that, yeah, this makes sense, reuniting. Fangio ain't even here no more. And now all these speculations of going to a 4-3 and all. Oh, we do not have the team personnel to be running no 4-3. And I don't care what nobody, I don't believe so. Next year, we will not have, no. Because guess what? You run a 4-3, Christian Wilkins won't be as productive. Zealer, I still got faith that he can be productive. The defensive ends, y'all got to understand right now, the way that we run our offense, the 3-4 or 3-4-5, however you want to look at it, depending on the play they call, the way we operate our defense, there are 5 guys at the defensive line of scrimmage that have to be accounted for. People don't understand. When you got 3 interior D linemen and you got 2 edges, so Phillips on one edge, you got Phillips on one edge, you got Chubb on the other, you got Raekwon, Christian, and Zealer, or switch one of them out with Van Ginkel, just depending on the rotation. When you got 5 defensive linemen on the line, 2 of them standing up, the other 3 hand in the dirt in the middle, the O-line recognizes that as one-on-one across the board. So immediately, somebody, all you need is one person to win a battle, and a lot of them win their one-on-ones. But when you do that 4 down lineman, it is not the same for Miami. It is not the same. team scheme for, and I've seen it even when Flores ran it sometimes, even though Flores ran is similar, but sometimes we were in that 4-man rush with Flores. This defense, these pass rushers can't do it with 4 guys, especially not against competition. That's why I always said, even with Flores, the scheme made everybody look good because we put 6, 7 in the box at the line of scrimmage. They don't know who to block. There's always a free rusher. That's why Brandon Jones and Javon Holland had the numbers that they had. Had the sacks, had the tackles, had the blitzes. They were like number 1 and number 2 in the NFL in blitzes. But there was always a free rusher. Whoever you didn't pick up, the other guy was free. Ogbar, free rush on this play. Wilkins, free rush on that play. Zeller, free rush on that play. Van Ginkel, free rush on that play. Holland, free rush. Jerome Baker, free rush. Go back with Flores and them and look at the way we lined up. How many of these sacks in the defense, they were just free rushers because you're showing one more than you can block. And I told you Flores scheme. Everybody take a step forward and engage. Whoever ain't engaged, go. They know the indicators that if somebody engage you, back out. So you always got a free rusher. Oh, he's so good. No, he's putting up stats on free rushes. We don't have an organic pass rush. Now, let's move forward to the offensive side of the ball because I already showed you how Greer done massively failed on the defensive side of the ball. And all he did is spend money to hide his flaws. Because let me ask y'all a question. Outside of Jalen Phillips, right? Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins. On a D-line where you have about 7 players, who did you draft other than those 2 first-round picks that you developed? Got to do better. And you ain't even got them under contract. Offensive side of the ball. We all know the story, and it ain't even a story, it's a fact. McDaniel even confirmed in so many words. Last year, the Dolphins were about to go to war with Tyreek Hill and what was his name? Cedric Wilson. Not Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle and Cedric Wilson. Do y'all know that Waddle was going to be our number 1 last year and Cedric Wilson was slated? He was going to be our starting number 2 and let's go. That's what this team planned to do. And then when they got the word that they had an opportunity to get Tyreek, they put all them draft picks and spent all that money to do it. If Tyreek would have never been available, last year we would have had Waddle and Cedric Wilson as the 1 and 2. And that has already been confirmed by them in their press conference. Well, we had our team intact, but when we saw, remember, they had already went through all of that, free agency, all that stuff. Well, when we saw our team intact, and you can't pass up on an opportunity of Tyreek, we had to pursue it and be aggressive to go after it. But that's what we were going to go to war with. Lucky he was available. Because imagine what would have happened if that wouldn't happen. Our team would be totally different right now. They probably would have never traded for Chubb. Tua probably wouldn't have even played this year because we would have probably made a move last year. We might have even tendered for Lamar Jackson at that point. Oh, Tyreek, Tyreek probably ruined that. Who knows? But yeah, that's what it was going to be. But I want to ask y'all this, because Tyreek can't play forever. How are we going to sign Waddle on a $25, $30 million contract and then go bring in another number 2 as good as Tyreek? Because how do you think this team would be if Waddle was the number 1 and you brought in another receiver that's not as good as him? How would this team be? Because that might be the future of this team. Because you can't afford to pay two receivers $25+ million each. You can't afford to pay two receivers that kind of money. Chris Greer, good job on Devin A-Chain. That's a huge pickup. He's not a bell cow. He's already showing injuries, which is a concern. Mostert is too. Mostert's getting older. I don't know what Mostert's going to do this offseason about his contract. And we're hoping that A-Chan can end up being the dude. Now, something to consider. How did y'all feel about A-Chan at the end of the season? I'm just curious. How did y'all feel about his play in those big games at the end of the season? The Chiefs game, he had 6 carries for 9 yards. The Bills game, he had 56 yards. Now the Ravens, he ran for 107. Ain't that crazy? We ran that well and still got smoked. Cowboys, he ran for 24 yards on 7 carries. Jets game, he ran for 9 yards on 32 carries. Titans game, he ran for 7 yards. 47 yards on 7 carries. I have to be honest with y'all. I know some people saying underutilized, right? But I feel like we might want to pump our brakes and want to see a little more. And here's why. We can't be a prisoner of the moment, because he had 4 massive games. 3 of them were at the beginning of the season. Broncos, 203 yards. Bills, 101 yards. Giants, 151. And late in the season, the Ravens, 107. 4 games. And he played 12 games. I didn't say 9 yards and 32 carries. What are you talking about? Here's the other games. 5 yards, 1 yard, 73, which ain't bad. Commanders. 47, 32, and 9 attempts for 32 yards. So reverse that if that's what you were talking about. Cowboys game, 7 carries for 24 yards. Chiefs, 9 yards. Bills, 56. He had 1 touchdown in the last 6 games. 7 touchdowns in the first 6 games. Let's let that play out. I believe in him, though. I like what I see. Weather games like below freezing may not be as good, because I watched him in that Chiefs game and I noticed he couldn't hit the holes fast. His cutbacks had to be careful. And without that, that's an issue. But I like A-Chain. But that's all we got on the roster. I know a lot of people been talking about Derrick Henry. I actually like the idea, as long as we don't have to pay too much, but you got to pay because somebody's going to pick him up to be a bruiser for 2 years. But I like the idea because we were like almost dead last in the NFL on 3rd down conversions. Almost dead last. Third and short, by the way. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Because they don't have faith in the quarterback doing the quarterback sneak, nor running the ball 1 yard. We just don't get it for some reason. That's why we always throw it on 3rd and short and still not getting it. That's why you're supposed to hand it off to Derrick Henry. At least he'll fall forward in most cases. That's the only reason I would like the idea. I wish we didn't have to, but that's the only reason. Like I said before about the O-line with Chris Greer, I don't need to go over his failures with the O-line. He got like 15 years of that with Miami. But he's constantly failed, at least the last 7 years for sure, when he gained control. Constantly failed on the O-line. And then last but not least, the quarterback, the tight end situation. He's a big failure on that. Why would you franchise tag Mike Gesicki and don't even use him? How did you let him get out of Miami without trading him for assets? How did you allow that to happen? And what I heard in a lot of situations with Xavier Howard and Mike Gesicki, that our team was getting plenty phone calls on them for like the last several years that they were here. Like Gesicki, both for the last 2 years he was here, and Xavier and Howard been getting calls every year with the exception of last year. And the price and the offer wasn't good enough. And we end up getting nothing. And then we were hoping as long as we let them go as free agents, they would go ball out. And that way we could get a compensatory pick. We didn't even get that. We got no compensatory picks, y'all. The players that you lose in free agency, if they play at a certain level, you will be granted or awarded a compensatory pick. We got no compensatory picks. And don't tell me you're going to let Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins, and guys like that walk for a compensatory pick. You don't know what's going to happen. They might go to their next team and they get injured. Nothing. Chris Greer has failed us, and now our books aren't in order, and we're about to write more checks to try to hold on to as many people as possible. And I keep telling y'all, the only solution to all of this is the Miami Dolphins taking a nuclear approach, because if you take the nuclear approach right now, you actually only have a 1-year rebuild. Sign all of your young core. Christian Wilkins, Waddle, Holland, sign all of Hunt, Connor, sign your whole young core. But get rid of your veteran big contracts. Move on from Armstead, Xavier Howard. I'd even what's his name? Let me see how old he is first. Let me make sure. There he is. All right. Make sure I know. 28. I'll move on from Chubb too. I'll trade Chubb too. Trade them all. You got your young core intact. Now you out of cap trouble. Trade Tua on top of that. And that'll help you cap-wise even more. But you got your young core. And try to go find your franchise quarterback and build around that for the next year. Build around that for the next year. So who would your core be? Your core would be Javon Holland, one great safety, right? Jalen Ramsey, a good corner, right? Great corner, right? You have Van Ginkel already locked down. If you signed him, You have Zealer already, Christian Wilkins, and Jalen Phillips. You see what I mean? You ain't got to have the whole roster, but this is your young core. And that's the defensive young core. So let me see how many people I named. Ramsey, Holland, Christian Wilkins, Zealer, Van Ginkel, Phillips. That's your defensive young core, 6 players. Now you just need 5, right? Offensively, you got Austin Jackson already. Sign Hunt. Sign Connor. Then you have Achane. You have Waddle. You have Ingold. And you keep, based off of the system we run, keep one of those tight ends. 7 players on offense as your young core. All you need is 4 now. But we'd also have 80, 90, $100 million. Trade Tua. Now you probably got like $110 million in free agency. And you already got your young core. And a whole bunch of draft picks from trading all of them. Tyreek, you get a first. Everybody, a Chubb, something up there. Everybody else, you don't go for the highest draft picks. You go for multiple 4ths, 3rds, and 4ths to try to do things that way. Now you got draft capital to build around that. And now you got 3 first-round picks, 21 and 1 for Tyreek and maybe Chubb. So do y'all think that it would take long to build this roster with our young core if we did that? We have 9 positions that we want to fill because we got our young core. We literally have over $100 million in cap space. We literally have 3 first-round picks and a whole bunch of mid-round picks. But the problem is Chris Grier would be responsible for all of that. And that's the issue. But that's what I would do, the nuclear approach. And what I would do is take those 3 first-round picks and maybe even a little bit more. And I would call Chicago and move up to number 1. And I would get me my franchise quarterback, which fills another position on the offense, giving it 8. And I would spend, and now I still got money for free agency. After I get my cheap rookie quarterback for $12 million a year on a rookie deal, I still got $90, $85 million. Now I can go in free agency and I can go get me another receiver to go with Waddle, a nice one, Mike Evans or somebody. I could go get me another corner to go opposite Xavier. Jalen Ramsey. I could go get me another defensive end to replace Chubb that's younger. I could go get me a left tackle or left guard. We could do all of those things. But be younger doing it. T. Higgins, I love it. Identify a quarterback in this draft you like. I would take the nuclear approach so we don't set up our future for failure with cap troubles. Having Stephen Ross keep signing these checks, pushing the broom, just pushing it down the road. You see, y'all don't see what the Saints dealing with? Bro, keep Chubb. Why? Why do I pay all that money every year? No. Chubb about to be 28 years old going into next season. The odds are the decline is about to begin. And you coming fresh off of a major injury? fresh off of a major injury? He's still young, but he fresh off a major injury. At least Phillips still on his rookie deal. We get more time to see if he's going to bounce back before we give him money. You don't know what Chubb is going to look like after this injury. Don't forget that either. You don't know what Chubb is going to look like after this injury. And you knock on wood and hope that he don't retweak it or nothing like that. Y'all know how these things go. Y'all know how this thing goes. Just go Madden franchise mode. Nah, P double, everything I just told you is actually realistic. It can happen. You can do this. This is a real possibility. Y'all just don't see it happening because you're probably not willing to do it. Or just don't believe the team will. And I agree with you on that. They won't. We need to nuke this thing now before it get out of control. Like, we have an opportunity right now to correct our wrong, but our pride ain't going to let us. We're going to double down and go after it again next year because why waste Tyreek? Why waste all of those players? Hey, you put yourself in this situation. I got you, P double. We're going to double down big time. They're going to spend that money. And I'm still waiting on that breaking news. Tua Tagovailoa gets his money. This is a deal that is good for both parties. The Dolphins signed Tua on a long-term deal with the average of $46.5 million. That is a team-friendly deal when you look at the market for the quarterbacks right now. Oh, my gosh. And they're going to sell everybody on the fact that it's a team-friendly deal. Stop. Any long-term commitment, I don't care if it was 30 per year, is dangerous with him because he's still got to be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. This is what we got to deal with. My next topic on here was Stephen Ross to the rescue. We kind of already talked about that because Stephen Ross is going to come in and open up the checkbook and pay everybody, blowing more money. I just have no faith in this team that they're going to do the right thing. So I'm making all assumptions of this is what's going to happen. Next on the list is Tua. I wanted to talk about him real quick because let me be clear on this channel about my position on Tua Tagovailoa. Let me correct some stuff. There is nothing Tua can't do. What do I mean by that? Tua can't throw outside the numbers. Yeah, he can. We've seen him do it before. Now, he ain't got arm strength. It may take forever to get there. But we've seen him do it. Tua can't throw the deep ball in stride consistently. Yes, he can. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it before. Tua's a one-read quarterback. He can never come off his first read. Yeah, he can. We've seen him come off the first read before. Tua can't this, Tua can't that, Tua can't. Yes, he can. We've seen him do everything before. That's my official position. Now, Now that I've cleared up that Tua can do anything and everything, let me make something clear. How often and how consistent he does it is the issue. Tua can't come off his run first read. Yeah, he can, but he trash for the most part when he does. People are out here arguing about the minutia of everything, small details, right? Well, they're not. That's the problem. They're holding on to narratives to make you disregard the true message. So when someone says Tua is a first read quarterback and someone rebuttals, I've seen him come off of his first read. Nobody said first read quarterbacks can't come off their first read. They just can't do it often and successful at a rate necessary. For example, if you go to your first read 10 times and it's not there, and you panic in and you execute 2 out of 10 hitting your second read. Don't try to hear me. If you come off of your first read 10 times and you execute twice out of the 10 to your second or third read, when someone says you're a one-read quarterback, people are arguing, I've seen him do it. Look at this one and look at that one, and saying he's not a first-read quarterback. I've seen him do it. You're arguing semantics when you know the real deal. You know what it is. So if you don't want to acknowledge that, I want to ask the people who disagree with him being one-read quarterback, what does being a one-read quarterback mean? That you go to your first read and you never can get off? That ain't what the people saying when it comes to him being a first-read quarterback. You're something that you don't do well. If you don't do well after your first read at a high level, you get the tag of first read quarterback because you do real well on the first read, but you don't do that well after that. That don't mean you don't never hit your second or third read, but you don't do well after that. People want to argue the semantics of here's proof he goes to other reads. Stop. You know what the real argument is. He's not great at it. He's not effective at it he's not successful on a consistent basis enough to give him credit to say he's good at it. He's good on the first. He's not good on the second and third. Therefore, he's a first read guy because that's what he's good at. And stop with the no time to throw the ball. How much film do we have to pull up over and over and over and over to show you, look at this clean pocket and look at them take away the first read? Stop talking about the pocket, the O-line. We continue to show y'all over and over and over clean pockets, first read taken away, him patting the ball and still forcing it to that first read. We just go back to other things as a narrative just to brush off the facts. O-line then, O-line. O-line then. The O-line don't give him time. Okay, here's some film showing you the O-line giving him time. What's wrong? Another thing. Here's another thing. These statistics out here saying, oh, well, this report says he's solid in other reads. One of the main issues with some of the reporting out here is that some of the people that are that's making the reporting, they're mistaking his looking off the defense as a read. Look, he looking to the right and he throws left. That's two reads. No, that's not what happened. But his reported numbers are reflecting that. His numbers are reflecting that. Last thing, because we have a lot of new subscribers to this channel. Doug Williams said that's a skill. It is a skill. I'm going to tell you now. Tua be throwing the ball blind, but it be on point. Looking right, right on the money. It is a skill. But let's not lose focus on what he's actually doing. Let's make sure we recognize it, to be honest. Now, here's another thing. Stop trying to tell me what he does well against trash teams. Stop trying to tell me what he does well when he plays against trash teams. If you want to evaluate a quarterback, you evaluate him in the best of competition to see what senses, what skills rise in an occasion where you have to use them. Where you have to use them. What skills show up then? So if we playing the Giants and they're running cover 2 and their safeties, this is just hypothetical here. I'm going to give you an example, analogy, I guess. If you're playing the Giants and their corners are playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, Tyreek on the line of scrimmage and a corner playing 10-yard cushion, and Tua throws the ball 10 times, 100 times all season against 10-yard cushion, right? And he throws a screen pass to Tyreek. And Tyreek catches all 100 of them and rips up the field. Tua is 100 for 100 with amazing stats. And then Tua has one game all season, just hypothetically use Baltimore, where they play bump and run, and he trying to throw them same screens, and none of them working. At the end of the year, his statistics say he's the best in the NFL at throwing screens at 90%. Is that a true indicator of what he really is doing that? Is that a true indicator? When I show y'all film of the Miami Dolphins early in the season, playing the Broncos, playing everybody, and Tyreek and Waddle catching the ball over the middle of the field, and every time they catch the ball, there's not a defender within 5 feet of them. And Tua just putting it in the spots easily, putting it in the spots, just racking up numbers, racking up completion, just looking amazing as a quarterback. And then all of a sudden, every single time we play a great team, they man coverage, they putting their hand on the receiver. Tua ain't getting these easy passes. But since we played 12 bums, and only 5 good teams, the stats are showing that, oh, he has an amazing EPA. He has amazing this and that. And nobody want to take the time to go look at what the numbers are against just those 5 teams, which will show that he's one of the worst in the NFL in almost every statistical category in those 5 games. But you got to take the whole season into account, because all quarterbacks, every quarterback ain't played 12 bums all year. Just depend on the luck of the draw with your schedule. And on top of that, how they play you. Just like the Dallas Cowboys, which was embarrassing for their defensive coaching staff. Dallas Cowboys coming into that game were the number 1 team in the NFL running man press coverage. They get gritty and nasty. While all of a sudden with the Dolphins, they running cushion and zone 80% of the game. Totally off script from what they do. What they actually do. They were the number 1 man coverage team in the NFL. And straight up said, nah, we can't do that versus the Dolphins. Our offensive success has not been dictated off of us. It's been dictated off of the lack of preparation by the other teams and or fear. Giants and all of them, all this cushion, and we just make life easy. Like these teams make life easy. And we just eating it up. Greatest show on surf. And then we scratch our heads like something's wrong when we play a great team. Why aren't we opening the playbook like the other games? We are. We're doing the exact same thing as the other games. The other team just ain't dumb. Stop blaming McDaniel. He need to call a game like Denver. He is. They just ain't dumb. The worst offense you can have is one that's not predicated off of you taking something, but more so what the other team isn't doing. Every game that we won and we had great success on offense, our receivers weren't challenged in a single one. The first game of the season, the Chargers, they blew my mind. Do y'all remember what happened last year with the Chargers? They were physical, bump and run, pushing receivers at the 5-yard line. All of a sudden this year, I'm thinking you got the blueprint, and all of a sudden this year, you letting everybody run free in the zone. What happened? No wonder you got fired. But we eating it up thinking it's us. Look how potent and great we are. Then somebody please tell me what went wrong against the better teams in the league. Well, everybody wasn't healthy. Well, let's go to when they were on offense. What happened in the Buffalo game early in the season? What happened in the Chiefs game in the middle of the season? We were more healthy then. We were just fine. What happened? Can anybody explain it? I don't want to hear nothing about how many points we gave up. I want to know why we couldn't go get any. Because the style of coverage that they play, when you run that cover 2 with cushion, you're making life easy for Tua to have options. All he got to do is read the outside linebacker. If you drop to the flat and take the tight end, I hit the seam or the slant. It's that simple. If you stay put on the seam and slant, I hit the tight end in the flat. It's that simple. Elementary. If the corner stays down for that flat, I go right between over the top for the wheel route. It's that simple. Not rocket science. Easier than you think. Easier than you think. And then when the team says, hey, let's bring the safety up in the box, use the outside linebacker to get on that receiver and press, and back the corner up about 5 yards. And when they hike the ball, if the tight end come in the flat, then linebacker go in the flat. He can't hit the seam because we brought the safety up. He can't hit the slant because we brought the safety up. And the wheel is already in a good position because they 5 yards off, ready to go down the field. And every single time them teams do that, this is what our quarterback do. Hike. Start panicking. That first read ain't there. Start panicking. Oh, that first read ain't there. And when that's all said and done, all you got to do is calm down and look on the other side of the field, and you got a crosser coming across right there for 6-7 yards and opportunity for yak. But no, we cut the field off. Screw that. Oh, the action. Oh, okay, clear, Tyreek, clear. Oh, incomplete. Somebody said, how do you fix it? The quarterback. Because when Josh Allen is faced with the defense that shut down the receivers, when Patrick Mahomes is faced with a defense that shut down the receivers, go watch the games. Outside of the run game, which you can only do but so much, at some point you got to throw the ball anyway. These guys don't be having nowhere to throw. What do? They extend the play and get out of trouble and keep their eyes open, and eventually it all breaks down. You got playmakers out there. They can make the play off script. Or they can take off with the ball. Or they could see the safety came downhill pre-snap. Check, go ahead, switch the play up at the line of scrimmage. Safety came downhill. Now, that wheel route, see, and that's part of the problem too. This is why our offense is so robotic. How can you audible as much too? This is on McDaniel. How can you audible as much when you sending somebody in motion? And the way our offense is predicated, you want that motion to not have to stop at the line and set. You want it to keep running through so it already got its speed to challenge that corner. But you can't audible when that happens. Do y'all notice sometimes? Tell me if I'm wrong. Do y'all ever notice sometimes when defenses are in their base, soon as that motion comes, the safety comes downhill? Oh, let me come down here. We know what this is. Have y'all noticed that a lot more with against the Dolphins? Soon as that motion comes, the safety jets down. The other guy over here backs up in the cover one, and the safety comes down. So we're going to take away the screen. We're going to take away the seam. We're going to take away the slant. We're going to take away the flat. And that wheel route, we good on. Have you noticed that? They done figured it out. We ain't worried about the wheel route anymore. But it does tell us, safety, get in that box. No more quick pass in the seam. No more quick slant. No more flat real quick. Safety, get in the box. It allows everybody else to be aggressive underneath. Hurry up and get down there over there, safety. That's what it does. That's what they're doing to Miami. So when you're running those motions, it's a timing now. Ain't no audible. So McDaniel also need to run the motion, but set the player so that Tua can relook. But you can't even do that because every time we snap the ball, there's only 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. So it ain't even no time to do it because the way we're not quick with our order of operation. So how do you fix it? You got to run a pro-style offense when they taking that away. Line guys up. Attack the outside on the comeback routes, all the one-on-ones. See, when they closing all your windows in the middle of the field, now you got to play that one-on-one game. Why you think Burrow and Chase are so potent together? Go look at when they play the game. When Chase got 7 catches, 3 of them are 11-yard comebacks right at the stick. Am I wrong? If anybody watched the Bengals game, how many times you see the quick out or the comeback route for chasing them on the outside? built-in plays. It's just simple. Based off the coverage, I got one-on-one on the outside. It's safety, comeback route. It's a part of the offense. When have y'all seen a one-on-one on the outside comeback route by the Miami Dolphins? I ain't seen one in 4 years. Tell me, I ain't talking about the slot, the seam comeback that Sherfield, Claypool, and all them been catching the last 4 years. I ain't talking about that seam comeback turnaround. I'm talking about when is the last time in Miami you've seen a wide receiver on the outside go 10 yards down the field by the sideline and come back for the ball? Please, when the last time you seen that? Thank you. It's a standard play. It's the most standard play in the NFL that at least 28 teams run 6 times a game. Any random moment, attack that outside comeback. You got a big receiver, a nice receiver with hands, threaten deep, stop, turn around, bam, tackle. All right, possession. Let's move forward. We the only team in the NFL that don't run that route. Like, I don't know another team that don't run it. Water runs comebacks, but we don't count that. Not on the outside. Up the seam, stopping on the numbers, turning around, yeah. But we don't want Tua's arm strength to be shown out there. Y'all don't understand. Those throws require arm strength and precision. He already ain't got the arm strength. Because remember, I want to take that back. They were trying it with Flores sometimes, but he was getting picks. Remember the Jets? When the Jets picked him off on the pick 6, if I'm not mistaken? Same thing. Turn around. And his arm strength can't get it there quick enough, so it gives the defender time to come, grab it, and go. That's why you got to have arm strength on those throws, because you got to get it there. They catch it, turn around, bang, bang, tackle. Y'all remember? I remember now. That's the last time I remember is versus the Jets. It was a pick 6. And you look at the Jet game before that, which was like 2 weeks earlier, they dropped the pick 6. They dropped one that would have been a pick 6. Same route with under Flores. Tua ain't effective outside the numbers because outside the numbers require arm strength to get it there quicker because the ball takes longer to get there because it's further. People don't realize that. 10 yards on the sideline, 10 yards deep on the sideline is like throwing the ball 18 yards in the middle of the field. Maybe even 20. People don't realize 20 yards in front of you, throwing it straight 20 yards, is like 10 yards throwing to the sideline. And don't let it be a deep out. You know how Tyreek and Water and them be catching them deep outs to Tua or posts where they be diving to get it, and it don't look like the balls take forever to get out there. It's already predetermined. He fling it before they even make the cut, but it takes forever to get there, and they identify it, they go chase it down, and they go get it. That's the problem. It takes too long. Takes too long to get there. He ain't got that. Why do you think he got picked off versus Buffalo? Was it Buffalo? Where who was it? Cedric Wilson was supposed to run an out and he rounded it. Whatever receiver. Claypool, I don't know, whatever receiver y'all blamed. Whatever receiver y'all blamed that should have been running an out, but he rounded it. That ball took too long to get there too. It took forever. To where the safety was able to make a play on it and made the play on it. The safety was able to come all the way around and intercept the ball. So that's one of the big issues. So when you say, how do you fix it? The only counter to when teams take away the middle of the field and take away your first read for two, the only counter is being an athletic guy to be able to improvise and extend plays and make something happen out of that. And he's not great at that at all, not at the level he needs to be. Have I seen him do it before? Yeah, I've seen him make a play or two like that, but not at the level or consistency that's necessary to make up for his flaws. That's one way to fix it, but he ain't got that. Another way to fix it is open up the entire field. Stop limiting him to where he can throw the ball. But you don't want to do that because now you're going to get bad things are going to happen because it's not his strength. And this is why I tell y'all, chill out with the Mike McDaniel stuff. He already spelled it out to you. He came in, took the things he does well. All that little dink and dunk stuff that he did with Flores, he said, we're going to make it better. I'm going to get it out quicker. These are his words, not mine. He said this. we're going to get it out quicker. And we're going to make sure the timing is better. And that's what he was actually good with Flores. All the dink and dunks too had a good completion percentage. His ball placement wasn't great, which affected the yak, but that's what McDaniel wanted to work on. We're going to get it out quicker. We're going to we're going to be more accurate so that we can improve the yak, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers quicker. He didn't say he came in and took 800 plays and looked at what he did well. We're going to do more of it. Yeah, he said that, but he didn't say, now here's the things you don't do that well. We're going to fix them. He didn't say that. He threw them in a closet and locked it and threw away the key and said, we're just going to focus on this. He told us that's what he was doing, which is a disservice to Tua. It helps you survive and look comparable, but it doesn't improve you as a quarterback, like develop you. It only takes what you already do well and put it on more of a display and give you more opportunities for that. It doesn't improve your weaknesses. Can anybody tell me Tua's weaknesses in the first 2 years that he's improved now outside of his ball placement, which is considered accuracy? Can anybody tell me what he's improved on outside of that since his rookie year? Anyone? What has he truly improved on? Don't say, yes, I can. Tell me. When I read that, I could have been reading it. Not one improvement. No, I'm usually stomped in moments like this. Somebody will give me one, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll give you that. But give me one. Oh, I'm glad you laughed at the end of that because I was about to go off command of the huddle. If I hear that again, geez. Staying healthy, that's a given. Learning how to fall. Come on, y'all. Y'all talking about just health. I ain't even sold on that. I'm not even sold on Tua being able to stay healthy still. All you did is hit him. You hit him. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see if he can stay healthy, tell him, don't hold back. Step into that throw and take the hit. Go ahead and run like you used to. That's the real test of can you stay healthy, not hurt the team and stay healthy. Don't worry about that third down. Stay healthy. That ain't proving that you can stay healthy. That's just, once again, hiding the flaw. Put yourself at risk and show me your body can handle the rigors of what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL. To where you don't have to be extra careful. And we have to sacrifice production as a result. What is that? If you got to sacrifice production, then it's still an issue. It's another limitation. It's another limitation. C007 said, knowing the basic playbook and leadership. He knew this basic playbook last year. Leadership, eh. Well, he more vocal? Let me ask you a question. In all of our losses this year, did you ever see him on the sideline pumping people up? Don't give me no locker room conversation. Give me what Tyreek gave in that Chiefs game. Lean on me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Did you ever see him on that sideline in them losses? Rallying the troops? I don't want no speech of be yourself, man. Come on, man. Be yourself. No. Did you see him up and down on that sideline holding people accountable? But how much can you hold people accountable when in those same games you were part of the problem? That's one of the issues with trying to be a leader. If you're one of the issues, it's hard to talk to other people and hold them accountable. I get it. I get it. Because first and foremost, you got to take care of your business and lead by example before you can start leading. So when people ask, then what do we do? How do we make it better? Don't get mad when I don't have the answer. When there ain't an answer. Because in order to really get to the answer, you have to recognize the problem. And if you recognize the problem, you can start to work on what you can fix to actually get better. But the truth is, in our community, we out here fighting over what the problem is. Is Tua the only problem? Nope. Nope. Got several problems. But you know what I believe? Doesn't make me right, but here's what I believe. If Tyreek dropping footballs, the quarterback can still get us over the hump. If the D-line ain't getting enough pressure in the game, the quarterback can still get us over the hump. If the run game getting shut down, the quarterback can still get us over the hump. And let me reverse that to get y'all to understand what I'm trying to say. If the quarterback is balling out and getting us over the hump, a few drop balls ain't going to be the end of it. If the quarterback is doing his job and balling out and being that difference maker, the pass rush not getting there as much can still be overcome. So what I'm saying to y'all is all the problems on the team, the quarterback can still compensate for them if he's that dude. But what we want to do is go fix 10 things to get the quarterback over the hump instead of replace the quarterback to compensate for them 10 things. And maybe now you only need to compensate for 2 or 3 of them. We don't work smart. We work hard. And that's why this team has had the same results over and over and over and over. This is exactly why. So again, Tua is not the only problem on this team. He's not the only one. But at the same token, I am telling y'all now, this team would have had a much different outlook this year if that position alone had no questions attached to it. They don't question Patrick Mahomes at that position. They don't question Lamar Jackson at that position. They don't question Josh Allen at that position. They don't question Joe Burrow at that position. They didn't question CJ Stroud this year at that position. Second half of the season, they didn't question Jordan Love at that position. They weren't even questioning Baker Mayfield the way he was playing. And I ain't a Baker Mayfield guy, but they weren't even questioning him at that position this year. They weren't questioning just Jared Goff at that position. They weren't questioning Matthew Stafford at that position. Even Flacco came in and they weren't questioning what he was doing. We still question that position. We say this is the week Tua has an opportunity to prove that he elite. He fails. The next week, this is the week he has an opportunity to prove he elite. He fails. We play a bum team. He plays well. Okay. Play another bum team. He plays well. Oh, we got this big team. We got to play. He got a chance to prove he's the guy. He fails. All right, this team right here, just prove you the guy. He fails. Then we play a bum team, Tennessee, and he fails. Oh, crap, now you're failing the bum teams. But that's all right. Because now we got Buffalo, fails. Now Baltimore, fails. Chiefs, fail. And the saddest part about our fan base is this. We're just waiting on him to pass one time, and we'll forget about all those failures. Shame on us. You do know eventually he's going to have another Baltimore moment where he passed against a good team, and you're going to get fooled again. If he done failed 8 times in a row, why is it every time you giving him a fresh start to say, if you do it this time, we'll know you the guy? No, you're 1 for 8. Can we require him to show a high level of play on a consistent basis? When we play 8 teams, can you give us a stretch of 5 out of the 8 when you balled out? You play trash versus 3, that's fine, but you were 5 out of 8. But we're not even close to that. We're not even scratching the entry because all of them are failures. And we're willing to say, if you just prove it on this one, we will pay them. Do you see how brainwashed we are as a whole? Do you see that? Oh, but the Chargers were a good team. We beat them. Look at how the Chargers ended up. Were they a good team? Stop. With the Cowboys, that was the first one. He barely did anything in that game. And look at the Cowboys. Green Bay smoked them. They went, but I did know this, though. Even though I felt like their defense was going to dominate us and I was wrong. I mean, they still held us down to a certain degree, technically. But they were like right there on the level with us. I had already knew that. We were frauds just like them. I already knew what level they were on. And we sitting out here with the nerve to talk about bringing the Chargers coach in as a DC when the man only had one successful defensive coordinator season in his career. And the man literally is a defensive specialist, but his unit in LA was the worst. Like, if you're a head coach, at least have your unit playing well, what you specialize in. They were the worst. We brainwashed. We are so brainwashed. We are so brainwashed. If Tua would have beat the Chiefs, everybody would have been screaming, give him a 5-year, $250 million deal. Lose to the Chiefs, but you beat Buffalo to win the division. Give him his money. Lose to Buffalo and maybe you beat Baltimore. Give him his money. This man lost every single game that had a good team in front of him. A legitimate contender in front of him. And looked bad in the process. Was a part of the reason we lost. Not the reason, but was a part of it. And every single one of them. And we're sitting around just waiting on him to have that one signature win to justify he's it. Are we kidding? That's the sad part. That's the sad part. You know, everything is not on Tua, but he's such a major factor that you have to focus on that area more than any other. Tell me what one position on this team is more important than him? What one position on this team is more important than him? Please. And be honest, man. Don't just throw something out there just because you want to argue. What's more important in his position in this league? Doug, I'm not saying Tua ain't the guy, but I'm just waiting on him to prove it. And one win against a quality team was never going to do that. And that's the problem. We would have accepted it, though, and signed him long term. That's the only one I'll give you. General manager, but I said position on the team. But I'll give you general manager. TD, as you say, doesn't it sound crazy giving him more money? It's crazy to me. Like, if they were offering this man $30 million a year, I would be like, what's wrong with y'all? Any long-term commitment, and I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? It's not even the number, it's the commitment without knowing. That's the issue. It only becomes the number if it's under 20 million. Then yeah, let's see if we can gear up even more around them. But we know that ain't a realistic case. And I'm loving that some people, they know what I'm saying is true, but they still want to see Tua. Like, I be trying to tell y'all, I get it though, because it's like, man, I just want to see him succeed, man. I want him to get over the hump. Like, I ain't stupid. Those people, y'all who watching that love Tua so much, I'm not stupid. I get it. When y'all watch him every Sunday, y'all on pins and needles, like, please, Tua, please. Just be the difference. Like, every completion is cringeworthy. Like, oh, yes, okay, come on. Let's keep this momentum. You're evaluating every game he has in your head of so far, so good. Just don't do nothing big right here. You're doing well enough in this game. As long as you don't turn it over, I can go on Twitter and say you had a good game. I know how it works. I know how it works. I know how it works. Because I've been a fan. Not so much a Tua, even though I'm his biggest fan. But like I used to tell y'all, I'm a huge fan of Rajon Rondo, the guy who had to make a name for himself. And I wanted them to succeed because it's a beautiful story. Ganging up with Hall of Famers and him being a nobody but becoming somebody and actually being seen as the orchestrator of it all when it's all said and done. I get it. I get it. I get it. You just want him to get over the hump and just be great and be a great. Yes, the guy I believed in became a great, and I got to live every year watching it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But at point, what point do we say in the real world it ain't gonna get no better than what we've already seen? Like some of y'all are holding out hope that he's still gonna be a guy who's like, even when he run, I bet some of y'all be like, come on, Tua, shake somebody, like show something Tebow-esque, show something spectacular where we're like, oh my gosh, he don't have that in this game. There ain't nothing about Tua that's like, man, how did he do that? Only thing we say is, what a pass right outside of the defender. No, I just put it in the spot and the defender couldn't get there. Long as he put it right on the money, the defender actually make it look better the closer he get, the closer he misses. It makes it look even better. That's the reality. There ain't no wow factor. You see when Josh Allen was falling out of bounds and he threw that ball, when they 4th and 13 and they rip up the field running and they just pick it up, all of that stuff, we ain't got that. And y'all be cringing like just hoping for it. 3rd and 13. He took a 40-yard check down, man. All right, man, we need to do better in this game somehow. It ain't looking good. Yeah, I know, especially at the end of this season. At the end of this season, yeah. His fans, they really didn't have a really good time watching those games. They didn't have a good time watching those games at all. Not because we lost, but because he was a part of the reason we lost. I'm telling you, some people love him more than the team. TD, you just preached yesterday about having an old-time QB. Old-time QBs don't run or have to run. All right. I'm glad you said that because there's a misconception on my theory in football when it comes to these quarterbacks in that regard. I want a young quarterback. I say I have an old-time quarterback like a veteran that's really good, like a Kirk Cousins, that can be a bridge. But listen, it's what people need to understand. Say there's 5 things you want in your quarterback, right? You want a guy who has, let's write these down. You want a guy with arm strength, right? Let's list some of the things you want in your quarterback. Arm strength, mobility. Okay? Y'all list some of the things and I'm going to put it down. Accuracy. Great timing. What else? Name some of the things y'all want in y'all quarterback. Brains, and we know what that is. Processing, real time, pre-post, all of that, right? Durability. Okay? Heart. I put toughness in heart. Let's start right there. Let's just start right there. Let's start right there. Okay? Great pocket presence. We'll get that. That's the last one. Pocket presence. Okay. Let's stop right there. So when people keep arguing with me, anticipation, I put great timing. That's a part of that too. When people keep arguing with me, you say you want Kirk Cousins, but he ain't mobile like Tua. First of all, let's go down the list and see how many of these 8 things Tua has. Arm strength? No. Mobility? No. Accuracy? Yes. Timing? Yes. The brains, the whole thing of it, processing, pre, post, all that? No. Durability? No. Heart? Let me just put half. I hate questioning other men's heart. I'm just gonna put half though. It's reservations. Pocket presence, yes. Right? Tua got 3.5. He ain't got no heart. I'm gonna stand on it. It is what it is. The man got 3. It is what it is. It is what it is. He got 3 out of the 8. So when you bring up Kirk Cousins to me, and you say, well, he ain't mobile, and an older time guy, and you want him. Okay. He has the arm strength to make up for his lack of mobility. He has the brains to make up for his lack of mobility. I can't say durability right now. He got heart. So when we all start saying, well, this guy don't do that well either. Well, are there any other knows that Tua has that guy does? So when y'all compare and say, well, he don't have great arm strength either, and you say you would take him, yeah, but he got durability. He got heart. He got mobility, whatever. You see what I mean? So we keep on doing that. People keep arguing with me saying, well, you say that he got a problem with this, but you would take that guy and he got the same problem. Yeah, but he got other traits that make up for his limitations. He has more things that make up for his limitations. That's all I'm saying. And that goes the same with all these quarterbacks. Like Baker Mayfield. I was on the Spaces earlier arguing about Baker Mayfield, right? And we were going through, well, Baker Mayfield don't have the Baker Mayfield limited just like Tua. Okay, when you go down this list, Baker Mayfield ain't going to end up with 3. It might be just 4, but he got another attribute. I feel sorry for you, TD, sitting in that hot training camp sun for it to come to this. Yeah, I get it, especially when today I was told that I know nothing because I don't see the practices like the writers do. When I go to every single training camp practice and even travel out of state to the joint practices. Do you know anybody else that travels out of state to the joint practices? So I may not be at all of the in-season practices when the writers are there to the for the portion of practice that's available to them, which the whole practice ain't even available to them. But I put the work in. I put the work in. I was at I was at Tampa Bay's joint practices and literally caught COVID from it. I was one of the most careful people in the COVID time, and literally went to Tampa Bay's joint practices, gave my whole family COVID. And I'm not there like the beat writer, so what credibility do I have? I don't go to the practices to watch and all that. I go to almost every single one of them in training camp. Even like I said, the joint practices. I flew to Houston this year. Y'all know I was live from Houston at the joint practices. Lansing said, all because of Tua Tagovailoa. No, because of y'all. Y'all the ones told me, just like I felt, y'all fed up of these beat writers writing 4 different versions of what happened. Y'all the ones sent me so that you can get the truth. Not the different variations depending on what narratives. Dude, it's the curse. I come here for truth. Yeah, I know. I think part of the problem is people can't filter through what I've been told and my opinions. Anything I say, I don't want you to take as a fact. Always leave room to question everything. You should do that with anybody. But I don't lie to people. I don't lie to people. And TD was ready to die for his team, literally. Man, this whole community crazy. You know how many people hit me up and be like, "Don't go to training camp, bro. It's a lot of people that really, really, really hate you, and you don't want nothing to happen." Every year, 50-yard line right in the middle at the top. And it ain't because I'm asking for trouble. But these people just be talking, man. Because I ain't saying nothing wrong. They just don't like what I'm saying because of the truth. And it goes against what they want to happen. I ain't no dude that's cocky and trying to be out here fighting and bring it on and all that stuff. I ain't that type of person. If I have as an adult, a grown behind adult should be, you want to avoid every confrontation you can. Because people out here having things happen to them for the dumbest reasons ever. At the same token, nobody finna. I ain't nobody that live in fear either. These beat writers hating on TD. I don't know if it's hate though. I don't think they hate. I don't think they hate on me. I just think that things are so fast paced, and sometimes you associate yourself with the wrong people that do hate you, and you just automatically get in line and follow suit, thinking that you're with the right people. I think that's a part of it. The people you converse with and make relationships with, sometimes they're evil to other people and you just don't know that version of them. And they're the same ones that'll tell you, don't mess with that person. And then half of the stuff they say is a lie. And a lot of times, and the reason why they don't want you to mess with that person, because that person would actually expose you. And I know a lot of people keep on writing, they jealous, they jealous, they jealous. I will hope nobody's jealous because I'm not competing. I'm not competing with these people out here. I'm trying to build businesses. I'm trying to do bigger and better. I'm trying to, make sure I'm always in a position to do best for my family. You can't be jealous of hard work because we all got an equal shot at producing it. So I will hope that ain't the case because that means you're just lazy. If you're looking at what somebody else doing and what they have and you ain't going after it and you got a problem with them, then that's just lazy. It's worse than jealousy. It's crazy. Beat readers got to be politically correct. YouTubers don't. And YouTubers be trolling and stirring the pot with hot takes. We're YouTubers. But let me say this. Let's not sit here and act like writers didn't create us. They created us. TD Fans Talk wouldn't be here if they were actually doing a good job when I was just a spectator. Just like some of y'all are so big, so much Dolphin fans. Y'all are such big Dolphin fans that you go to Google every day, type in Miami Dolphins. You look for anything new. Tell me I'm wrong, some of y'all. Be honest. You go to Google every day and type in Miami Dolphins to see if anything new. You go to ESPN to see if any new podcasts talk about the team come up. You go to YouTube to see if any of your favorite guys dropped a video. You search for Dolphin content all around the clock. Anybody like that? Like I used to be? 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago? That's how I used to be. Somebody say you do it too. Not anymore because I'm the one producing it. I didn't think to produce it. But why do you know what made me produce it? We had a lack of it because it got to a point, I'll never forget, because I was in corporate America. I was a manager and my employer was sending me back to school because I had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, a minor in psychology. And I had got promoted so much, but then they found out, man, you're 2 levels past where you're supposed to be, and you're required to have a business degree. We've promoted you to levels that you weren't supposed to because you didn't have a business degree. I went in corporate America when I graduated college. I was moving up the ranks fast. And in order for you to be a director, you got to have a business degree. And you weren't even supposed to be the manager. So they paid for me to go back to school and go take all the core business courses. And I'll never forget, I used to drive to school about 45 minutes away because they gave me a year and a half. They wanted to get me through a business program real fast. Basically, pretty much got like a second bachelor's in business. Technically, I should just go apply for it. Honestly, I just took all the 17 core classes or whatever. But I went and I did it. Every time I'm out there at the school, before school, I'm looking for Dolphin content. During waiting on the next class, I'm looking for Dolphin content. Monday through Friday. By Tuesday, I could barely find anything. I'm on Wednesday refreshing. Like, man, ain't nothing out here. It's dry. It's dry. And our writers, even their articles, I read them all. And at the end of the day, we didn't have enough content, number one. And number two, and y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this is only 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. 7 years ago on back, that's how long ago it was. That's how long ago it was. And we didn't have as much content. And the beat writers were all we kind of had, and we would read their articles and a few podcasts on ESPN or whatever, or wherever I found anything. And every year, everything the beat writers told us never happened, and half the stuff they said was wrong. Every year. Every year. I ain't saying everybody. I didn't even know any of them by name back then. I just read articles. I didn't care who wrote it. But every year it was wrong, bad information, drama in the team that didn't turn out to be the right person, and all kind of stupid stuff. But it wasn't enough content. They created us. They created us. So here I am at work, debating with people all on the floors in corporate America. I can have my friends, and we just sitting there debating Cowboys, debating this, debating basketball. We just debating. And I never forget, because his name is Justin. We actually started our own little Zoom recording where we had like one show debating sports for like 1 hour. We did that. People at work was like, oh, that was funny, whatever. But I knew it's what I wanted to do at that point. And I'll never forget, there was a guy I was a manager of. He was a young kid too. And we rarely hired too many young kids. You know, this is a professional job. They required a license and everything. And I remember laughing. It was like, man, you on YouTube? I'm just laughing like, man, you on YouTube, huh? Man, how's that going? I didn't think nothing of it. It was just funny to me. It was just funny to me. And he kind of like awkwardly like, yeah. And, you know, because most people look at YouTube as like, you're a YouTuber? Okay. You know? And it's that stigma. Get a real job, right? And I never forget, man. I literally just went on Amazon one night and I ordered the little $30 cheap microphone. A little small dolphin flag. And I remember I would try to practice at home. Welcome to TD Talks. And my wife got the old videos. I'm as skinny as can be. And my wife got the videos in her, on the computer and the phone. Welcome to TD Talk. And she like, oh, you're trying to be like this. No, just be yourself and all that. And I'm just, it was funny. And I'll never forget at one point, I got fed up. And I said, man, I'm going live. And YouTube wouldn't allow me to go live. They said, hey, you need a certain amount of subscribers before you can go live. See, now on YouTube, you start a channel tomorrow, and in 24 hours, you can go live. Back then, they said like you had to get your first 500 subscribers or something before you could even go live. Something like that. And I used to record the video, post it. Man, I got 4 subscribers. I know I'm one of them and my wife the other. You know, I got 7 now. And y'all, so let me fast forward. Let me repeat what I just said though. I was excited when I had 4 subscribers. I got more excited when I got 7. Did another video. I got 13. I say all that to say this. I'm not taking any disrespect from the grind that I've been putting in for almost 6 years now. I didn't take shortcuts. I didn't pay Google ads like some people to put my video at the top of when somebody Google Miami Dolphins. Because I used to always wonder, man, I type in Miami Dolphins. Why do I see this person and that person? And I click on more videos and I'm the 60th one down there. Called Google, by the way, one day, and they told me exactly why that happens. So I done pay Google to be at the top. Every single thing that I've done on this channel has been grind, one welcome to TD Fans Talk at a time. Speaking about this team, earning y'all trust to listen to me and allow me to be me in the process. One at a time. I'm the one that was sitting here when the thunderstorms were in Miami streaming 11 hours straight on that day during that game that was delayed. I'm the one that sat here for years doing 6-hour streams from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., from 10 p.m. to 4 in the morning. I'm the one that was starting panels that has birthed half of the channels that's out here today with the people that were on them. And still big up every single one of them and recommend y'all going to subscribe to them, even though some of them spit in my face. One sub at a time, talking about the Miami Dolphins. And when I realized that what God put in front of me, I had a responsibility to make sure that I didn't become complacent and I always strive for bigger and better. So what did I do? I had an idea. Just like this country was founded on an idea. I had an idea. Successful people have ideas and they execute those ideas and they're not afraid to fail. I had an idea. I want to create a sports network. TD Fans Talk has been so successful. Man, what if I could provide content for every fan base? TD Chargers talk, TD Bengals talk, TD all those teams talk. I don't have the resources and the money to pay people to run them right now. Let me see how hard it would be for me to start them myself. Oh, Chargers breaking news. Hey, welcome to Chargers Talk. I'm trying to do them. Realize very quick though, this ain't realistic. You can barely handle your own channel. You can't handle no others. Put it on pause. Got attacked for even trying to grow a network. So what did I do? I ain't give up. Rebranded, went and got sponsors, went and got partners that shared the same vision like Richie, like Dan, like Master at Work. Started the AFC East Roundtable. Talked about the vision. Kept the roundtable going for 2 years, and then all of a sudden it's time to execute the vision. Now Roundtable Sports is taking off and it's going to keep taking off and it's going to be bigger and better. And y'all going to look up. It's going to be just like Bleacher Report. It's going to be just like Barstool Sports, but hopefully better. Just like Bleacher Report. If I'm not mistaken, how much did that sell for? 150 million back in 2012. It was started in 2005 and it ended up selling for 150 million to Warner Group, TNT. Barstool Sports, same thing. And Barstool Sports end up selling for $500 million. Just creating a network, getting a whole bunch of people together about sports, and then the advertisers. Now the big company wants to come in and buy it because you built the platform where everybody brings. That's the hub to go. Yeah, let's do it, and let's keep growing. And I'm appreciative of everybody who see the vision and get behind it and supporting it one like button at a time, one support of a round table you don't even care about at a time. AFC South roundtable, only been active for 2 months now, 3,000 subs. NFC North been active for a month, 1 month and 3 weeks, 3,300 subs. NFC West roundtable only been active for 3 weeks, just got to like 1,200 subs. And they're gonna keep growing, and we're gonna be adding about 2 to 3 more in the off season. And we're gonna build NFL out, all the divisions. with so much more to go. So people can clown my ambition of wanting to have a network, trying to say I'm not a real Dolphin fan because I tried to do channels of all these teams, all they want. It's a loser's mentality and a broke mentality. And I'm sorry, I don't have neither of them. Neither. Either. Excuse me. It's better. That's the right way. Appreciate you, Mud. I will definitely stay on my purpose. But guess what? Whether it succeed or fail, I know who's giving me the vision. I know. I know who is. Right? Dudes would straight just hang out like when you had the Disney fireworks stream. Yeah. Oh, my brother in here, Doug in the house. He said, "Keep up the grind, bud. I got your back." I know you do. I know you do. Trust me. I know it. I know it. We know what a lot of people don't know. We know what a lot of people don't know, and I appreciate you, bro. Real talk. I never hate on someone's grind. Yeah, I know, but I think it's the convenient thing to do with people trying to. They don't have nothing on me. That's the problem. These people don't have nothing on me. And I ain't perfect, but they don't have nothing on me. So when they grab hold of things like that, oh, look at all the channels he tried to start. He's not a real. They don't have nothing on me. That's all they argue right there. But the only sad part is they do poison other people that don't know me to where they won't even give me a fair shot. Like Omar Kelly, who said he didn't know me until yesterday. And already he's reposting me and all the other channels and got the nerve to literally say, "Is this your king?" It's sad. And I really thought higher of him to, like, as a journalist, do your research before you start writing something that would make a conclusion that's just false. But it's how the world turns. TD, very creative. That's right, man. You got to be. You got to be. You got to be, man. If you ain't trying to take what you're doing right now and trying every day to figure out what's the next level to this. What's the next level to this? What's the bigger thing to this? If your mind ain't moving like that, then you ain't going to ever see things that you didn't think was possible. You'll never see things you didn't think was possible. It reminds me of when I first entered corporate America. See, I'm just a southern man now, but for the most part, I'm just a southern boy from Hollywood, Florida, South Florida. And I remember when I graduated college and I got my first corporate job, like, you don't know what you don't know in life. And I'll never forget, man, my first paycheck at my corporate job was $900. And the crazy thing is, before I even finish what I'm about to say, some of y'all hear that $900, you'll be surprised how many people watching. There's 412 people watching right now. My first corporate America check, 2 weeks check, by the way, was $900 after health insurance and everything, right? You'll be surprised how many people watching right now, even today, are saying, "Oh, that's great." And then you'll be surprised how many people watching is saying, "That's it?" You don't know what you don't know. It's no different from being born and raised in South Florida. And when I first graduated high school, if I didn't go to college and I got my own place, I'm looking at $1,600 a month for a place that I may need to stay. And I go to college and I rent an apartment with a roommate, and our rent together, roommate as in 2-bedroom apartment, but our rent together was $645, $300 each. You don't know what you don't know. For better than what I would have got in Miami. Better, more room, everything. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. I'll never forget that, man. When I got that first check, I was like, man, because when I was in college, I was a juvenile corrections officer. Overnight, I would drive to the facility where I worked. I would work overnight, just sitting there, most part by a door every 30 minutes, going in the kids' rooms, doing checks and all of that, Had to go through training, all that stuff. And I'm used to every 2 weeks making like 400 and something as a juvenile. Yeah, as a juvenile correction officer. That's all. That's it. And when I first got that corporate miracle, I was like, man, I'm balling. And not to go into detail and nothing like that, but you should always be thinking what's the next level, because if you don't, you'll never experience things that you didn't think were possible. And that's the goal. Your goal should be in life, outside of trying to follow following God's purpose for you, in my opinion. But outside of that, it should always be to better yourself and be the best version of yourself, because you've been given a gift just to even be here breathing on this earth. That's a gift in itself. And you want to wow yourself. You want to wow yourself. You want to say, man, I'm making 20 times more than I could have ever dreamed, or something like that. Just wow you. Whatever would wow you. Whatever your current circumstance is, if it was doubled tomorrow, would it wow you? If it was tripled tomorrow, would it wow you? And with less work coming easier, would it wow you? You didn't have to grind as hard, but it's tenfold. Would it wow you? You should be thinking at all times, what's the next plan? Well, how can I, leverage? And again, money and all that isn't everything. But at the same token, in the world we live in now, you gotta secure your family's future. You don't know what's going to happen at any time in life. You gotta put yourself in the best position possible. And even me, we all have our flaws. Right now, God has blessed me so much, but I still have the things that I'm never ashamed of anything, but I'm disappointed in, that I'm asking God to help me. Like, even personal, my health. I'm doing good health, but at the same token, ever since that COVID period, I got to do better with working out and all of that. I used to be the most fit, but now I stream so much and I've settled into that. Now I got to focus myself. And that's my focus lately, getting back to being fit. We all have our struggles. Yours might be different. You might be the most healthy person with zero body fat and fit as can be, but you struggle to make a dime, or you struggle in relationships. We all got our things. Nobody perfect. Nobody perfect. But don't give up and don't get complacent. Don't get complacent at all. I was listening to something tonight that said, do you know that by the age 30 years old, by the age of 30 years old, that 90% of all humans will never sprint again in their life? Sprint, running, sprint. At the age of 30 years old, 90% of all humans will never sprint again a day in their life. Not because they can't, but they won't sprint again a day in their life. Think about that, though. Man. And comfort is what breaks you down and shortens your expectancy. Getting comfortable. A lot of people so tired because of work and everything that you just want comfort. Man, don't accept comfort. Stress yourself. Not the bad stress, but Put some stress on yourself. Like go for something, no comfort, just chilling, relaxing because I had a hard day. Hey, what's the next thing that's going to, motivate me? Shout out to the person in the chat that said, let me see. Let me go back to it. I'm addicted to gambling. A salute to you, Mike, for being transparent about that. We all have our things, bro. And it's, when we all have our things, sometimes it's hard to like give advice, but what I will tell you is me hearing that from you, you don't have to give up gambling to fix that addiction. And what do I mean by that? We got to alter our mindset. Maybe you should gamble and gamble even more than you ever have, but on yourself. On yourself. Gamble on yourself. Try it. Say something that you always wanted to do in life. Put every penny that you would take to the casino and put it into that path. Envision the most successful outcome and take every penny that you would take in the sports book or the casino and put it right into that journey. And the same energy that you get whenever you hit when you gamble, it could be 10 times greater. It could be 10 times greater. It's just a matter of where you're going to put your money. I know most people that have an addiction to gambling, it's a matter of, the return. And the only real issue with a lot of people who are addicted to gambling is the fact that they want a quick return. And truthfully, sometimes gambling isn't even the issue. It's the immediate seeking of satisfaction, like the quick result. Sometimes that's actually the issue that draws gambling even closer to you. It's that it's wanting that quick return. Quick. It's fun. It's fast. It's right away. Fun, fast, and right away. And the type of gambling that you're doing, you have to also remind yourself it's not set up for you to win. If you can't do it responsibly, then nothing's wrong with seeking help. If you're locked in, talk to somebody about the issue. And that's a strong thing to do when you can admit what your issue is, like you just did. And the next step is talking to somebody about it. Talk to somebody about it. Because I'm not opposed to people who gamble. It's just a matter of, is it controlling you? And if it is, talk to somebody. Every betting site that you or casino has hotlines. They have literal free help. It's free. It's a part of their requirements in some cases. It's a part of their requirements too. So that's what I would say. Gamble on yourself, and if it's just one of them things that's still just hard for you, nothing wrong with seeking help. Yeah, you made a big step just now, just even mention it in front of everybody. But get help, because you definitely don't want to, like throw money away, especially if it's an addiction. Having fun on your favorite, like me, like I love the Dolphins, which is a shame because every big game, I don't know why. That's probably what I got to stop doing. I got to stop picking them in big games because that's a part of the problem. I just have a little fun. I don't worry about winning and losing. But those that are addicted, that can cause them to, use money that is already allocated to their family. It can start hurting and different things like that. So you want to make sure that you take care of your family and protect them. So I understand it's not going to be an easy thing, but try your best to get help, And I appreciate you sharing, bro. Real talk. Appreciate everybody for sharing. Anybody who shared their vulnerabilities, man. Like I told y'all tonight, I'm trying to do better with my health and my weight and everything. Because I'm not used to, gaining weight. This is like over the last 2 years, it's something new for me. So, and I'm not a shameful person either, like where I'm scared to like tell people, hey, man, you better pick the pounds up. But yeah, now I got to get them off. No excuse. Right? Addicted to Tua and winning. As long as it's not negatively, if it's not negatively impacting your life and those that are around you, then I don't see an issue. And not just gambling, just anything in life. All right. Go back to his early years at Alabama. He wasn't afraid of getting hit. Context, my boy. Context, my boy. It doesn't matter what he was afraid to do in the past or not. It don't matter how good or bad he was in the past. The only thing that matters when you get in the NFL is what you do in the NFL and what you're doing now. If you're not accustomed, if you're afraid to get hit now, but you wouldn't in the past, then that's who you are now. None of that really matters. You see, that's another thing you got to remember. Alabama Tua doesn't exist anymore. What you saw at Alabama don't exist anymore. You're hoping to see that guy again, but it don't exist. Can't get that back. Not when you bulking your body up like that and stuff. He's different. He's older. He's a different person and all. All right? Yeah, TD, but the whole scheme was made to protect Tua. They drilled it into him to get the ball out. Well, yeah, I mean, I know that. I know. To take care of her, I get it. I get it. Fast food has gone too far and should be illegal. Yeah, I've done my studies. It should be when you look at what we're actually consuming. But yeah, they'll probably deplatform me for going into detail about that. They'll tell you all you need to know. They'll tell you all you need to know. They'll probably shut my channel down. Going into the details about that. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing streams with open panels, y'all. Over the off season. Probably starting the end of February, early Marchish. I'll be starting that like maybe once or twice a week, having an open panel show, bringing people on. I'll probably have one specific for Patreon members, which we're going to get back cracking, and another open forum, but it may be like 3 minutes per person. The Patreon one may be, more like 15 to 20-minute segments with individuals. But yeah, we're going to open it up. TD in trouble. Hillary in the chat. Hey, Hill. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock. Hey, babe, I'm about to come. Love you. I ain't realized I've been streaming this long, over 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah, let me get out of here, y'all. She probably been set up for like an hour now for the OnlyFans episode. So I gotta go, y'all. Let me stop. She gonna get on me about that. She gonna yell at me. Watch. All right, y'all, man. Um, Jeff Sykes, sorry, Jeff Sykes. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Just let me know, bro. Just start. But yeah, let me know. All right, y'all. I'm finna get out of here. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I'm sorry. Let me hear up and read the super chats. I ain't reading none of them tonight. TD, what you think about Harbaugh and Herbert? Time will tell. I want to see what it turns out to be. That'll be Herbert's test. Build the O-line, hire a good DC, focus on the run game. Tua is not a dual threat and weak arm. They have to play Steelers-style football. Okay. That ain't getting championships in today's NFL. Tua is still a poor man's breeze. TDU and Barry out here keeping it a stack. Most fans don't want to accept how much of a dumpster fire this is. How we finesse Houston for all them picks and the future looking better than ours. They future looking better than ours. Greer, facts, man. TD for Dolphins GM. Omar Kelly afraid of getting exposed. It's hard being a Dolphin fan when the standard is mediocrity. Will you have a stream where you drop the link like in the past? I disagree with a lot being said and would love a healthy combo. Yeah, it's coming, bro. It's coming. Love you, TD. Would love to listen to you and Omar have a discussion. Would be really dope. I agree. Almost feels as if we never left the Tannehill era, doesn't it, TD? Dang. I mean, that's technically you're right. Same thing. Same thing with the same excuses. Hi, TD. Didn't Joe Burrow have a bad O-line when they went to the Super Bowl? Facts. Everybody know that. 4 of 5 starting O-linemen were out. 4 out of 5. The man got sacked 10 times in that game and still advanced. Still made the plays when it mattered most. So, absolutely. Let that sink in. The man got sacked like 10 times in one game and still willed his team to victory. Fins up no matter what. Love y'all. I'm going to finish. We're going to do another one maybe tomorrow. And we got the Miami Dolphins roundtable tomorrow night, CB83, Doug, and one special guest. But we got more to talk about because I only got through half of the agenda. But I got to get out of here. I'll see y'all soon. Love you.